launch. It ain't a Friday if there's no roll call Friday, huh?
Nope.
Well, the line's up.
Yes, sir.
They look good. That's as expected. We'll talk about it on the way up.
All right.
That's on. Houston, this is Boston speaking. Mission launch for Roll Call Friday in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are the Bostonian versus the book.
You covered! You covered! 12 covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus the book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
It is time for the day that we call Roll Call Friday. What is up, Brigade? It is time for a 2-hour trek through all the fun things happening in the sports world. Emerson is back. Lotzia is in for Dave. Dave's going to be here. Don't worry. We got a Roll Call Friday. Can't have a Roll Call Friday without Dave Sharapan. I'm Matt Perrault. We are live on our YouTube channel at Boston versus the Book, and we're live on Twitter as well at Boston versus the Book for that. Replayed on SiriusXM channel 159 and on Sports Grid TV each and every single night. You looked good yesterday on TV. Mr. Emerson. How are you, sir? You look phenomenal.
My nipples are hard. Don't do this.
It was beautiful.
Early.
I watched it. I was like, wow. I was like, he looks really good. It's a whole nice, because we don't really have the backdrop normally, right? Because you have like a 4D thing going where you're up front. You got a beautiful house in the back. It's gorgeous.
Starts with the dog crate. Then it's the couch that is covered with towels and blankets, so my dog's anal glands don't squirt on the new cushions. Then it's the lights. Then it's the kitchen, and the kitchen has the dryer and washer in it, so it's great. I can pull out a stick of string cheese and eat it while I'm loading in all of said towels from the couch. And then the bathroom is right to the left, where fun things happen in there.
Okay. Dave, we don't know. Sharapan's going to pop in at some point.
What's going on with him? He hasn't said anything in our text chain today. Yeah, it's just been you and I.
He took a nap, and then he called me at 11:30. He went to sleep at like 8 o'clock East Coast time. Then he woke up, and then he called me at like 11:30 last night Pacific time, which is 2:30 in the morning there. And so we were talking for about a half an hour or so, or 45 minutes or so. So he got off the phone with me at 3 a.m. last night. So I don't know. He was dreading having to wake up and shoveling today because it's got 3 to 6 inches falling where he is in Philly. They were going to move Kylie in today. That is not happening. So he's at home, and he's going to jump in at some point. He's going to spend about an hour with us, he said, when he gets free from all the obligations. And then tomorrow they're going to move Kylie into college. So
it's everybody else. It's going to be a zoo tomorrow.
Yeah. It kind of stinks. So Roll Call Friday is going to be different. Normally, Dave is the one that yells out everything. I dab the map. We're going to do it differently when Dave comes here. We're basically going to have you guys still give out roll calls. You can go ahead and tell us where you are, your area codes, and where you are. But I'm going to put the new states, every time we see a new state, I'm going to put it on the screen. And that's how we're going to do Roll Call Friday today. Got a lot of things to get into, a lot of football to break down, obviously. And we want to make sure you guys do a roll call, but it's different with Dave not being here. He was going to be on like 2 different iPads, and I was like, forget this. I was like, that's too complicated. We just won't do the map today.
Dave's talking about shoveling. Why would he have to shovel?
Because when you go home to a family member, you know how it is. You can't.
So that's where he was yesterday. He was in his brother's place.
Yeah, that's his brother's house in Philly. So you have no choice.
right.
Like, what are you going to do? Your brother's out there shoveling and you're like, hi.
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
I appreciate you doing it.
It's like Christmas vacation. He's out there. It's like shitter's full.
Yeah, it's like, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm not shoveling. I don't live here. I live in Vegas. These hands haven't touched a shovel in 20 years. I'm not going near it. So he's like, son of a, I'm going to get
I think
up.
we're getting a few inches tonight.
Oh, only a few, huh?
Yeah, yeah. Only a few. Could be a little bit more in this apartment, but it's also going to be like 5 degrees tomorrow.
Oh no.
Yeah. And I'm flying down to see my folks Sunday morning. I'm getting the hell out of here. And now Florida is having this like historic cold. So like when I land to see my folks in North Florida on Sunday morning, it's going to be like 30 degrees there. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? I go down there and I bring the cold. I come back and I bring the rain.
Well, the problem down there is the same thing like I was saying before. A friend of mine is in North Alabama and it was 0 on Thursday. They don't have the insulation. You guys in Florida don't have the insulation.
Yeah.
That's massive popped and burst pipes everywhere, all over the region. People's pipes are going to burst. And that sucks because the water spews and then it freezes because the houses are 30 degrees.
Yeah, dude. My friends in Atlanta texted me the other day. One of my buddies who just moved there from Denver, and then it's a 3-man text chain. My other buddy who's always lived there, and the buddy of mine, Chris, who is new to Georgia, is like, what the hell are they closing schools for when it's 30 degrees? Like, this is absolutely nothing. A little bit of snow. It's like they have one snowplow for like the entire area to go around, like spread salt and shit. Like, no one is prepared in the South for cold weather.
I used to laugh when I was in Alabama. It would snow like a half an inch, like a little tiny bit. And it was catastrophic. Stop the world. Oh my gosh. Every bottle, every milk carton gone, every egg crate gone, nothing available, every bread aisle completely wiped out. And I'm like,
dude,
guys. And then you got on the roadways and you realized why. Because they have no idea what they're doing. They drive They drive faster than when they do normally for whatever reason, because they're nervous and they're scared. And any type of overpass freezes solid. And you have all accidents of people who come across and they're doing 360s and donuts and everything else.
Yep.
And I used to laugh going like, man. And then I came here and Vegas is very similar. Any type of snow, any type of rain, forget snow, rain here. People have no idea how to drive. Accident after accident after accident all over the place when we get like a half an inch of rain here. So it's
like Mario Kart. And someone 100%. Just dumped an ass ton of banana peels out on the road.
And it's like, zoo. It's like, people just don't understand. And California people, I'm sorry. Ooh, that was good. California people are the worst. I'm sorry. You guys, people always like the worst drivers in the West Coast.
Damn you, California.
What California drivers are the worst. They really are. They come to Vegas like crazy and we watch accidents and everyone here goes, California plate. Oh yeah, California plate. We just know automatically that's where they were. So, it's Dave said to me, he's like, I don't know what between 5 and 8 p.m. This is what I suffered too when I went home for Christmas for 9 days. How do you guys do it from 5 to 8 p.m.? That hole with nothing to do for sports. Like what happens? How do you handle that?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, I'm talking to you.
You're talking about living here.
Yes,
5 to 8
p.m. East Coast time. How do you guys handle that?
I'm usually naked in a sauna between 5 and 8. That's me time. That's me time. That honestly, because like with our shows, everything early on, like in the day, and we pumped out all our interviews by like 5 o'clock.
Right.
So I'm usually home. I'm usually going to the gym, a little bit of me time. I'm walking my dogs on like a 2-hour walk over into Cambridge and then back around into downtown. My wife's home.
You walk wait. You walk from Back Bay to Cambridge?
Yeah, bro. We have a nice solid 4 mile route. I go over Longfellow Bridge here.
I know.
Over.
I know where you're going.
Right,
I know where you're going. That's a hike. That's
over
far.
there. Yeah. Sometimes stop by like cafe. There's a Tate over there. Grab a little cookie. Give the dogs a little nibble, fuel us up halfway through the walk.
So you don't go all the way to Harvard. You don't go all the way to Harvard Square. So where do you go? Union Square?
I will walk down all the way that way or jog down. It's about 4 miles to where Meg works at at CBS
Nothing.
station in town.
Oh, CBS,
and so
right.
I'll just like I'll run down there or something if I got to grab the car and come back. So we only share one car.
Right.
But dude, this city. And anyone in the BVB brigade who's been there knows it. This is an extremely walkable city.
100%. It's meant to be walked.
Yeah,
it's meant to be walked. It's not meant to be driven. It's meant to be walked.
Dude, oh my God. And it's the worst driving around here because someone told me the reason like we're not on this grid system like a New York or some of these other major cities is because this city never had one of those catastrophic moments where it like burnt to the ground and then you were able to rebuild the city back to like a grid form.
Correct.
No, that's why the roads are all winding, like
we didn't have the fire.
The old pilgrims like didn't play with fire the way that like New Yorkers did.
Where you live, I mean, my goodness gracious, like you live in the tightest, the roadways are, I always laugh when someone's coming up, nobody can go down. Like you have to wait for people and get up on the side and like go slowly around because it's meant for a horse and buggy in Back Bay and down in by the State House. So it's not meant for a car to go down there, let alone a big SUV.
They still have all these old, like, it's weird. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like they're meant for you to scrape your shoes off and all the horse manure, like these curvy pieces of steel that are drilled into all of the stoops around here. And it was from 200 years ago where you're walking around, you're stepping in horse shit and you can scrape it off before you walk inside. And then I see on here, Football Guy 97 says, happy hours from 5 to 7. That's how you deal with no sports at that time. Unfortunately, there's no happy hour here either in Massachusetts, which is probably why I'm still alive after. That's
one of the oddest.
It is the worst. Don't tell me when, like, I can't get cheap drinks. Like, government, let me free. I'm a freaking peacock, man. You got to let me fly. Let me get 2-for-1 Sam Adams over here with some fried cheese.
Yeah, I get this. We go home, eat, shower, and prepare for the games. I get it, but you have to understand something. Like for us, we have sports that begins at 3 p.m. and it ends at 11 p.m.
Awesome.
We have 8 hours of prime watching where Dave fell asleep last night during the Rangers and the Vegas Golden Knights game. Like he was watching.
Dave couldn't survive on the East Coast, man.
He said that to me on the phone. He goes,
Dave could not do it.
He goes, it's official. I can never move back. I can't do it. And I went back and I said the same thing. I couldn't do the Daily Juice. There's no way in hell. Like the games I bet, I wouldn't watch anything with I get why East Coast people more now than ever before do not watch West Coast sports. Because how in the hell am I staying awake until 12:30, 1 a.m. with like a fan mind going? Like if I'm like half asleep and like just like watching it, fine. But I'm not actually paying attention to the game.
And I love sleeping. I am one of those guys. I don't care if it's because, I had a couple cocktails the night before, or it's just I'm going to bed early because I love sleeping so much. I have gotten to the habit where I'm like, maybe sleeping a little too much. I'm sure depression has something to do with that. But then it's like I go to sleep early. And so I've gotten to the habit of getting up and immediately I got to get on and like check out recaps of some games that we're maybe talking on, like that we're talking about on the show that day. But man, sleeping is one of my favorite things to do. And I feel so good. And I feel like I look fresh and I sound fresh and I smell fresh when I sleep a lot.
What? He can't deal with games being over at 10 p.m.? Oh, gosh.
Bro, what are you talking about, Chef? When it's over at 10, then you really kick it up, and then you don't have to worry about paying attention to anything.
Yeah,
you just go there and shoot the shit with your boys, or
he just had a baby,
spit some game.
Chef just had a baby. He's gonna learn real quick about the being out past 10 o'clock thing. That's not going to be happening all that much, my friend. Those days are gone. Just FYI. You're not going to be able to go to the bar at 10 p.m. like you used to be able to with a newborn. I speak from experience on that, so sorry.
Me too. I've got two girls over 3 here. They both have 4 legs. Some would refer to them as dogs, but those are my daughters. Yeah. And let me tell you what, babies, right? Puppies are worse than babies. They are. The time frame you take care of them, though, in that period of life is just a lot shorter, See, it's like they're out of that puppy stage in 3 months or so.
And Sully, maybe the most East Coast of East Coast names, but Sully says
it really is.
The East Coast is benefited with kids because main priority, 5 to 8, get the kids from daycare and school, feed them, and then sports. I got that. I get that entirely. It's just from us when we're betting on sports, the idea of that 5 to 8 window, we're just like, what the hell to do when we go back to like, that's our prime time for watching sports. Like I watch so many games from 5 p.m. Pacific to 8 p.m. Pacific. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey, they're all prime time. I get both coasts going during that time. I get the start of the West Coast games and the end of the East Coast games. It's like, what the hell are we going to do? Like, how are we going to do this? It's a very weird time for sure.
When Meg and I went to like the Napa area about 4 or 5 years ago for her birthday, it was week 1 of the NFL season. That's when the Jags had just signed Nick Foles, and he got injured in like the first game when they were playing the Chiefs at home. But anywho, the absolute best was games kicking off at 10 a.m. And I know you guys had probably talked about like the time zone thing, what the best one is, like ad nauseum, like on this show. But there was some kind of joy that it brought me.
Of course.
Being able to get absolutely hammered at 10 a.m. in Cali. Yes. The games are kicking off. Mimosas are flying. Bloody Marys, man. Shoving pancakes in every orifice. It is the best.
And then you can watch a Sunday night football game and actually see the fourth quarter when you're coherent versus 12:30 with toothpicks in your eyes trying to make sure you stay awake. So he's up. He's bundled up. So let's go to Philadelphia and bring in our guy, Mr. Dave Sherapan, joining us here on the program.
Hey, Big Sexy.
How are you?
It's great to see you both. I'm good. I've been watching the snowfall for hours now.
That's what I said. How many inches?
How many inches? I mean, we just started the show. What are we talking about here?
Well, you know, with the three of us together, you know exactly what we're talking about.
This is so good. I watched the show a little bit last night too. I missed all of my sleeping pattern disruption, and the references on there that we had, unbelievable. I don't even know have words for it. Emerson, my wife has questions. Let's just no. Well, she just has questions, like just about things, like about things you think about. And the third arm comment yesterday really had her. It was a subject that
she didn't sleep at all last night either. I feel dirty, so let me just go ahead and squirt some of this in my hand.
It was one of those dinner conversations. We were laughing. We were talking about Emerson.
That's a dinner conversation. A third arm, baby arm holding an apple is a dinner conversation.
If you've ever been around our family, yes, there's no dinner conversation could be anything, and that was it yesterday. But I just got done shoveling Uncle Dan's driveway.
Oh,
I mean, it's long. It goes all the way down to the curb.
Inches and long, and this is all.
Yeah, this is on you, buddy. Long. You trigger our dirty mind.
Oh, yes. But no, in all actuality, they're downstairs all watching the show. Nice. They stopped. They closed school last night.
Of course.
They said it's going to snow during the period when everybody's commuting. Yeah. So we're not going to school. So Aunt JoJo off today. So she and Jess and I and Uncle Dan went to the grocery store last night and stocked up.
There you go.
Because that's what people do.
Wait. So yeah, you have fit in perfectly with the people who panic in the Northeast when you get more than like an inch or two of snow. What did you stock up on?
Snacks. Like we bought
most
snacks,
important meal of the day.
Yeah, right, exactly. And we got eggs. We got eggs because we were going to have eggs, for breakfast. So
okay.
That's a
they
great
already
question.
had milk. I don't know.
Dave, what is that TV behind you? What is that?
Is that still an old school box TV?
Yes, it is. Look at that. Chris Covey's right. You went back in time.
Worth something one day.
Oh yeah.
It's
hold on.
Brother comes in. You guys look alike.
Whoa.
Wow. They look alike. That's crazy.
Up. I didn't know you were coming in the show.
Look how similar they look.
Yeah, you're not looking into a mirror. Look, I'll get down on one knee here.
What's up, Big Sexy?
Listen,
look at that.
Listen, I won't be long because I know you guys got sponsors to thank and people to slash and hashtags and shit like that. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
Say it loud.
No, you can swear, dude. I swear.
Sorry. Well, I don't know where the microphone thing is.
It's right there.
It's right there next to you.
Well, then what do I got to say it so loud for?
For Will. Will has to hear.
God.
You watch the show.
Okay, listen, just real quick.
Yep.
He hasn't been watching any snow all day. The only thing he's been watching is the inside of his eyelids.
Woo!
Okay. I don't know if he said he shoveled.
He did.
He didn't.
He did.
He didn't do any shoveling. I went to work today. Okay.
Yeah.
And then they finally let us out a little early. And I came home and my wife was going to go out and shovel the driveway so I could pull in the driveway so we don't get snowed in at the curb.
Oh, wow.
I said, no, I'll shovel when I get home. I'll park the truck in the driveway when I get it clean.
Right.
Shoveled the whole driveway, came in. He's still upstairs sleeping.
Well, no. I woke up, but then I went back to sleep.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Time change is taking a toll on your brother. Then.
It messed me
Oh,
up.
believe me, we were sitting there watching this hockey game last night. He asked me a question, and before I could answer, he was snoring.
I really don't know what time it is.
And there's a little lamp between the two chairs, and I looked over and I said, I was like looking over at him going, you just asked me a question.
The facial tics are so similar. It's freaking me out.
I know. This is kind of weird.
It's absolutely freaking me out. You just did the eye thing that you always do, and that was so weird.
I know. Yeah.
Oh
No,
my
we're 16 months apart.
It's amazing.
I'm older,
Wow.
I'm older, but he's sexier. There's no question about it.
Younger, bigger, and better looking.
Woo! Younger, bigger, better looking, all the above.
Yeah.
Uncle Dan was the catcher. I was the pitcher. Uncle Dan.
Wait, whoa. With Emerson on, I don't know where that's going to go with Emerson on today because I've seen Emerson guest reference on the show, and I don't want to talk about no third arm baby and some low hanging apples or something.
Hey, big man.
I know. I heard the one.
About baseball.
I know, but I heard the comment yesterday. I heard Emerson's comment yesterday. You were up here blabbing along, and I heard it downstairs. Yeah. Dave did show me how to watch it. Speak into my mic. Put BVB versus Boston on YouTube. Boom! It appears on the TV.
He hit the subscribe button and everything.
Look at that.
Yeah. So anyway, I heard the comment, and I said, "The hell were they talking about? I thought this was a sports betting show." And we're talking about third arm babies holding apples or something.
Yeah, in a sauna. So this thing was dripping.
Oh, I missed the sauna part.
Oh, yeah, in a sauna too, right?
Yeah.
Emerson laid it all out.
Okay, all right. I'll let you guys go, guys. It was good. It was good seeing you.
Great to see you, sir.
What's your pick of the weekend? What's your pick of the weekend? I mean, because we were talking a little bit about last night, and nephew Andrew's going to be very excited that Uncle Dan got on the show.
Yeah,
good.
Can I ask Uncle Dan a question?
Please do.
Hey, how do you feel about Bill? I noticed you're wearing the Penn State sweatshirt. How do you feel about Bill O'Brien moving over to offensive coordinator there with Ohio State?
He's a douche. It don't matter.
There you go. That's all I needed to know. Perfect
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah.
Give him your play of the week.
Oh,
because you've been so good this season.
I think it's Houston.
There it is. Likes Houston plus the points.
Houston plus the points.
Okay. Listen, man. Disagree. If the Ravens don't get off to a hot
How'd you
start
finish
tomorrow,
season
they're in trouble.
How'd you finish the season in your contest?
12 games under 500. That's not bad for somebody that doesn't know betting in sports. I'm not a mush like you.
Well,
Sometimes I have the show on in my office and I got to mute it because they don't want. If I work for a local municipality and a local government. If they hear this, I'm part of this mush freaking degeneration. They might fire my ass.
Oh, look out!
That's why all the girls.
Yeah,
in
you
your
don't
office
want
are
this
really
show.
Excited. They get really excited when I come by to say hello in the office. You know that, right? All those ladies in the office.
Yeah, they say he doesn't look bad for 60.
Oh, all right.
Bye.
Hey, Wood.
That's Brother Dan.
Matt, it's nice to finally meet you, Matt.
You too, sir. Good to see
Emerson,
you. We'll
keep up the good work.
Yes.
Don't play with your third arm.
Said he was going to do this, but I wasn't ready for it.
Oh, that was absolutely tremendous. Oh my gosh, that was great.
Well, good,
wow.
Hey, listen, Addison's happy we finally mentioned some sports.
I know, right?
Brought up Bill O'Brien 25
Welcome
minutes into the show.
It's on the rundown. We'll get to it later. So, all right.
It is.
We have 4 games, 8 teams. Let me ask you both this question. We'll start the sports conversations.
Okay.
Is Brock Purdy the worst quarterback left in the playoffs? If I gave you Brock Purdy and said replace Brock Purdy for an upgrade of the other 7 teams, is there an upgrade on any of the other 7 teams left that you would say, yes, swap out Brock Purdy's an upgrade at the quarterback spot?
We'll just go down to games. I think I want Lamar. I want CJ.
Correct. Yep.
I Jordan Love. Is it a push? I mean, I think I'd rather have Jordan Love.
That's probably,
I'd
probably
rather
a push
have Jordan
for me.
Love.
He's had 8 good games. He's had 8 good games.
I'd rather have Jordan Love.
Second half
at least
of this
going
season.
into this weekend, maybe not long term, but going into this weekend, I want Jordan Love. He's playing better.
You could look at Baker and make an argument.
With that offense, though, I like Baker's ability to throw the deep ball more than Brock Purdy's ability to throw to Mike Evans and Godwin. Stronger arm. Baker's got a stronger arm than Purdy does.
And definitely not the Sunday night primetime game.
No,
it's
right?
not Mahomes or Josh Allen. Wow, what a weird thing to make a
Goff.
rundown.
Would you take Goff over Purdy?
Oh, that's maybe the only one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe
That's
Jared
what I'm
Goff.
saying.
Yeah, maybe Jared Goff's because his the turnovers he throws and the interceptions and mistakes he makes, so maybe, but he fits that offense really well.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's the same argument with like Brock Purdy, and I haven't really understood like why so many people have loved to have shat on him, and then also why the idea of being a system quarterback is like so frowned upon. Like the point.
What is Emerson? The reason is because because when he played the Ravens, he threw 4 picks, and he can derail the entire season if he doesn't play well. If he plays poorly, it doesn't matter who's around him. He can blow the whole thing up himself.
I got it.
Versus other quarterbacks.
You can still only count on one hand the amount of times he's actually done that. It's less. It's maybe like 2-3 games.
Correct. That's
like
right.
He for the most part, he does what he's asked to do, which if I'm a San Fran fan, I'm like, okay, great. This is awesome. Just win games, man. Just win games.
It's interesting. So let's get into this in terms of the numbers. This is from 10 o'clock this morning. Okay. Here are your latest FanDuel numbers for all 4 games. Both games on Saturday have 9.5-point lines, 43.5 and 50.5 respectively. This is FanDuel's numbers now. Some books are different on the totals, but 6.5 and 2.5. These numbers are pretty consistent. 48.5 for the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Lions. That number's coming down, which is remarkable to me. And the Chiefs and the Bills, 49.5 there for that one. Let's go game by game here, and let's talk a little bit about the breakdown as to how we're going to see this, because wrong one. There we go.
Okay.
I am really curious to see what the closing number is going to be for Baltimore and Houston. You heard your brother there, Dave, talk about it. The books are getting hammered with Houston money. Public dog. I mean, this feels like the public dog of the week. No,
has to be. We did cash considerations too. We talked about it. And again, it doesn't mean it can't get there. It just means that this pattern has repeated itself for decades. The wild card team wins as a dog, goes as a dog, bigger dog, usually the biggest dog on the road, and gets whacked. I've seen it more often than not. They can win, but I only want Baltimore in this spot. Baltimore teased down will be very popular choice, which is why it's 9.5. And listen, going on a road to Baltimore is a tough spot, but you guys know Lamar's history. This is
dude.
Emerson, Baltimore has to win this game. Not just win the game, but they got to win the game convincingly for everybody, don't they?
1,000%. 1,000%. It's a narrative that's been pushed all week long. We all know Lamar's track record in the playoffs, 1-3 in his playoff career, more turnovers than total touchdowns. It's hard to believe CJ Stroud and Lamar Jackson have the same number of playoff wins, but it is true. It is 1 here. And I talked to Ross Tucker this morning. We taped the segment. It's going to air on the Sweat tomorrow morning from 8 to 10, DraftKings Network and VSiN for anyone out west. And he said if Baltimore does not get off to a hot start, it's going to spell trouble for them, because he says, as a former player, he's telling me this, that nerves, and you start to get in your own head. You start forcing decisions maybe you wouldn't make in a previous situation when you're not down early like that, because they know the pressure is all on them. There is no quarterback, I think, this weekend who has more pressure on him than Lamar Jackson.
The most pressure, I think, early.
You could make an argument for Josh Allen. I think too. I think it's 1 and 2 in my opinion.
I think Mahomes has a ton of pressure on him, because if the Chiefs lose this game, this is the end of the first iteration of the Mahomes career. He has to redo it. So we've seen this like slow, steady progress going down, down, down. If in the first road playoff game that the Chiefs encounter, they lose, they're going to have to make some major changes. And like they've already lost their OC last year to the Commanders. And everyone said like, without you lose your offensive coordinator, that's a big problem. How many years left is Travis Kelce playing? He could walk.
Oh, dude. Yeah, he could walk. And did you see the report yesterday that Andy Reid may retire?
And Andy Reid may walk, right? So we could see the end of the Chiefs dramatically. So I think Patrick Mahomes has a ton of pressure on him to keep the whole thing going. Because if they lose, this could be it. Now remember, Brady went a decade between winning championships. So Mahomes,
but he flirted with plenty of them. And I think the Chiefs will still do that. Like this is the worst offense of the Patrick Mahomes era in Kansas City. Right. So like, it's tough to see it get really much worse. Now it will be interesting to see, just like it was like for Brady without Gronk, to see Mahomes without his security blanket, without Travis Kelce.
The first iteration of the Patriots did not have Gronk, did not have Aaron Hernandez, did not have
you had Christian Fourier, didn't you?
Correct. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and Tremaine Wiggins.
Yep, they threw guys like a little bit, but they ran the ball a ton and they played defense. That was the
Corey
first
Dillon.
iteration.
Was that Corey Dillon?
Correct. Well, that was Dillon was part of that like window where they didn't win anything. Like where they tried a bunch of retreads and guys that would
Curtis Martin.
Well, he was the end of the Bledsoe era was Curtis Martin.
Right.
And then the game going with that. So it's got a lot, to me, it has a lot to do with, do we see the second act for Mahomes? And if Reed retires, oh my gosh.
Oh man. If Andy Reid retires, the continuity in New England was always Bill and Brady. And if Mahomes is left holding the bag and everybody goes, you know what? I'm going to go on tour with Taylor. I'm going to go do commercials. I'm going to go whatever. Like, whoa, that is a lot of pressure. I didn't even think of that going in. He does have a lot of pressure, but I don't know. I think you're right.
I think Josh Allen's got more pressure in that game. I really do.
But he hasn't done it yet. Is that why? Because he hasn't done it yet?
Yep. Well, yeah, absolutely. Because isn't he also? I don't. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. What is in the postseason? Is Josh Allen 1-2 against Mahomes? I don't know.
They're 0-3, right? They've never beaten him.
They've never beaten him.
Yeah, they're 0-3.
They haven't beaten him in the playoffs.
This is what everybody's always said. They had to go to Arrowhead, and they've never won there. So now it's flipping the script. You're in Orchard Park. You're in the weather. You're in, Bill's Mafia. And now it's going to be electric there, screaming and yelling. And now you're going to operate with a silent count, and you can't be comfortable. And the referee calls aren't going to go your way. Like, I really think there's a ton of pressure on Patrick Mahomes to win this game coming up, because he doesn't have much help. This is all on Patrick to do this.
They're out for redemption too after the way that game, but back in week 14 ended. Remember the offensive, like the offsides there on
and the pitch.
Was it Tony?
Yeah.
And then afterwards, everyone had their panties in a wad. And then like Mahomes wasn't even giving Allen like credit for winning the game.
That was a
handshake.
That was a bad move. That was a bad move and a bad look for Mahomes.
Yeah, it was a bad look on all of them. All of them sat there.
Allen just sat there and was like, "What's up, bro?" And he was like, "This is the worst call in the history of calls."
Yeah.
And Allen's like, "I don't really care, dude. I beat you. So like, what do I care if you're mad? Go be mad somewhere else."
Has anybody brought that up all week in the lead up to that game? I haven't heard much. Well, I haven't been really paying
because people
attention
dismiss it. Because of what happened last year in the postseason, it feels like it evened out. Remember last year with the crazy come from behind, and they had no business losing that game. They had the lead. So like that is sort of like the even up where like, okay, the Chiefs got a miracle win and the Bills got a miracle win. So it's evened up now as we go towards this game, throw everything out and let's see who plays.
When I think of these two teams playing, I really don't think a whole lot about what went down in like week 14. Like we've talked about it this week on our shows at DraftKings, but I still go back to like the overtime, the coin flip, and just whoever was going to have the last possession in that game was going to win. And then everybody agreed, the league agreed, and that's why they changed the overtime rules for the postseason was after that. Do you know what I mean? Like anything having to do with like the fight,
Emerson. You're walking into the Dave and Matt argument fight over the playoffs, over the overtime.
Honestly, I'll come out and I'll sit right down the middle here. Just change the overtime rules in the NFL in general. Make it college overtime rules.
No.
That's what we should have in the NFL.
No.
Postseason, regular season, preseason.
Why in the world are you
off-season,
going to
Pro
take
Bowl?
away? Why are you taking away
Where's my
special teams?
glasses?
Why are you taking away
Oh
special
yeah,
teams?
you need your glasses to hear this. Yeah, to
No,
hear me
he's
spit
listening
straight
glasses.
facts.
He
Yeah,
needs
hold
his
on. I brought them. Hold on. I'll find it.
because that's the problem though, E, because you're dealing with the college overtime takes away anything you're already guaranteeing, even more so in the NFL, 3 points automatically. That's inside of a field goal. It's almost an extra point you're giving to the teams when you start with the 25-yard line. You gotta have kickoffs.
Yeah.
You gotta have kickoffs. Yes.
Ooh.
New? Are these new listening
This
glasses?
is hot. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, these are the other
He
ones.
picked those up in the airport.
No.
Like a
I
Spencer's
had these. I should have picked
You're right.
them up at the airport. Yeah. No, these. I brought these with me because I didn't want to bring the other ones. Listen, I didn't know what to bring, what not to bring. I brought some cold gear. I was like, when am I going to wear the listening glasses? I don't think I'm going to. I don't want to break them or pack them, so I brought the backup pair just to have them in case we got to drive in the snow. Glare.
Bad.
The glare from my eyes hurt.
Agreed. From the snow.
With all that white and then
Kills
it's
me.
frozen ice and it's the bright and the glare, whatever's in the sun.
I'm with you.
Sun. I don't know what that is. We haven't seen the sun in 2 days.
You don't see the sun. You see gray. You see some orb through the gray.
Yes.
You get that's all it is. Not actually the sun. It's just this thing that just like illuminates the day, and it's not actually a bright ball of sun.
No.
So San Fran is the same number here.
What was the
7
answer to the question for Lamar's legacy? You had that question, like his legacy's going to be damaged.
Yes,
he has to win. This is another major setback.
If he loses this,
I don't disagree.
He's 14-2 MVP, bounced in the first game. He's number 1 seed, MVP, bounced in the first game. This is now a trend and a massive problem for his legacy, career, and future as the quarterback for the Ravens. Remember, he was available to 31 other teams. The Ravens said, go ahead. Anybody want him? Go take him. And nobody came and got him. This would justify every GM's decision to say, look, he's great in the regular season. We love him, but like win a championship, he ain't the guy.
They got the number 1 score in defense.
Yeah.
They have a first-team all-pro quarterback in Lamar Jackson. Ravens are the 4th team since 1970 to have both of those. The other 3 teams, 72 Dolphins, 78 Steelers, 96 Packers, what they all do, win the
Super Bowl.
And they're coming here. I've been saying it to anyone and everyone. I've been saying it for a month and a half.
Yeah.
You've been saying it for 6 months. You said it in August when we
Yes.
talked about it.
Ravens are coming here.
I got, when I worked, we went over my career history yesterday. I worked in West Palm Beach for 3 years. Boynton Beach is right there. Lamar Jackson was the quarterback at Boynton Beach High School when I was down there covering high school football. Like pumped out a boatload of great stories on that kid. He is phenomenal. His mom is phenomenal. He is a grateful, grateful kid. I am rooting hard for him to get that win so people get off of his back.
True.
Did you know, E, when you saw him, did you go, this kid's going to be a pro?
Absolutely. In the NFL last week, there's a viral highlight of him in high school that I am calling. It goes viral every year around sometime Lamar Jackson is entering an important part of the season. And last week, NFL shared this clip. It's of him. It was in like a spring jamboree game, actually. And he was marching, he was sprinting to the end zone and then just hits the brakes. And I go, Arr! And then he just walks into the end zone as these other kids just fly right by him. But here's the cool part. And this is, my wife got so excited about this last week. In the comment section on that video, when NFL Network or the NFL shared it on Instagram, Tom Brady commented on it, was like, this highlight was the first time I became aware of like Lamar Jackson, like talking years and years ago. So it was cool that he was watching a baby Emerson.
J-Dow knows it.
Is different.
That's awesome.
J-Dow knows it. J-Dow
J-Dow knows, man.
He's our resident Baltimore guy. He's our Ravens guy. So he knows what you're talking about. That's cool. That was you calling that Emerson. Yeah, look, the weather, it's snowing right now in Maryland.
I've seen those pictures.
There's no weather concerns tomorrow, guys. Okay, so if anybody talks about betting, taking the dog because of the weather, there's not going to be. It's going to be 27 degrees, 15 mile per hour winds, and sunny. It's It's all good.
Right.
It's all good. Am I hedging? I'm not hedging at all, CDW. In fact, I'm taking the Ravens. I'm laying the points. I'm not hedging my 11-1 future at all. I'm letting this ride. I may hedge a little bit in the AFC Championship game, but it depends on who they're playing. Is it the Chiefs or is it the Bills? I may let it, if it's the Chiefs, I may just let it ride. If it's the Bills, I might come through a little bit and hedge on it just a little bit, but I'm not hedging this weekend. No way. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
so the other night, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and one thing to consider as well, like Stroud performed much worse in his 5 outdoor games this season,
100%.
where he threw just 3 touchdowns in 5 games, and his quarterback rating was 85.1. So
I'm going to say this: my score is like 31-13. Like I think the Ravens.
You might have to play that exact score thing. Just put it out there.
I think a touchdown and 2 field goals is all they get on the defense.
Right.
And I think Lamar does whatever he wants. I think I put it this way. I don't think they're going to play Mark Andrews because they don't need to. I think they're going to go. I don't think he's going to play. I think he's questionable. I think they're going to go, look, we'll beat him without him. We don't need Mark Andrews. We'll hold him off for next week. It's more important.
That send a message to Houston, though, where they're like, I mean, like teams find fuel in that kind of stuff.
This is Harbaugh. This is a Harbaugh defense up against a rookie quarterback in the playoffs. Like this is a Mount Everest sized mountain to climb. Right. They're not supposed to be here. No, they're never here. A rookie quarterback is never in the divisional round. It just doesn't happen.
That's what makes them dangerous.
True,
but it also makes them they don't know and they don't care. Well, vulnerable to getting blown out, but also vulnerable to not caring and having another good game.
Here's another good stat. CJ Stroud can become the first quarterback to beat the number 1 scoring defense, the Ravens, and the number 1 total defense in we're talking the Browns in the same postseason in different games since McNair did it in '99 for the Titans.
He wasn't a rookie then, though, right? That was the prime time McNair. That's when they were at their best.
It's just the first quarterback. We're not talking a rookie.
It wasn't a rookie quarterback doing it. It was a rookie head coach on top of that, up against Harbaugh and up against. Look, I think Monken's got a lot to say here. I think there's a lot of people who have questioned this offense, saying you brought in Todd Monken from Georgia to run this offense. Why is this year going to be different? They've all pointed to him and said this offense is different. It's more dynamic. Look, they picked up, a veteran running back off the Jets that may end up getting carries coming up on tomorrow. But I'll be curious to see what exactly the game plan is going to be against the Texans, because the Browns could have moved the ball more consistently. It was just that Flacco was bad in 2 pick sixes, and they could have moved the ball more and been more competitive. And they were early in that game, at least until Flacco really threw up all over himself. So I think CJ Stroud's going to look like a rookie. I just think it's going to be awesome season, great year, but a thud ending for the Houston Texans.
You don't think that about Love, though?
I do not think about that Jordan Love. No, I do. I think Green Bay is 100% live in this game. I think San Francisco needs to be really careful. I think Jordan Love has the potential here to shock the NFL. I think if we're talking about, which upset is more likely, Packers beating the Niners, I think is way more likely than the Texans beating the Ravens.
Wow. I don't know. I like the Packers to keep this a game for a long time. And if we do bet it or book it, I would say if you say Green Bay, I'm probably going to say bet it.
Okay.
Only because I think Green Bay, if this game turns ugly and is an under game, Green Bay can stay in and win. If this game turns into a shootout, Green Bay can play that way and be competitive and still win. They can play and adapt to any type of game right now. And when I watch that sideline with Bisaccia and everything else going on with LaFleur and the way they're playing for each other and with Jordan Love, there's something there. Now, can CMC and Debo and everybody light them up? Can they hang a 45 on them? You like the over or the under in the game when you look at the game?
I would probably lean actually a little more towards the over. I like the Packers catching 9.5 like in this game, and the reason for that is because mainly of Jordan Love over the last 8-9 games. He has 21 touchdowns and 1 interception.
Pick one.
All right, so with those numbers, a quarterback playing that well and catching nearly 10 points here, not enough, like that to me is almost like a near must bet. And then you consider how shaky, believe it or not, 49ers defense has been a little shaky at home this season. So they allow their opponents to score touchdowns on more than 65% of their red zone trips, which they also give up a full field goal more per game at home than on the road this year as well.
Yes. And look, the Green Bay Packer defense is a concern. Their run defense is a concern. That's why I like the over. I think big plays are going to happen for both teams. And the thing that Jordan Love impressed me the most with last week against the Dallas Cowboys, who have as good of a pass rush as the Niners, he was able to move in the pocket and buy time. If he can do that again and just stay away from the Bosas and stay away from the defensive line and the rushes that are going to come at him, he can find guys open downfield. They've got so many weapons to throw to, and Musgrove is healthy. Watson looked healthy. They don't know any better. The youngest team in the NFL, they're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
We're 10-point dogs on the road. No one expects us to be here. We're the first 7 seed ever to win a game in NFL history. They're playing with as much house money as anybody in the playoffs right now. And I think you're going to see LaFleur throw the kitchen sink at this defense. On the flip side, I think Christian McCaffrey is going to have a monster game running the football.
I mean, for real, Matty, like it, some people may say it may be like a square pick here to buy high on Love and this Packers offense when their stock is like an all-time high, but we've seen a large enough sample size now to really buy in.
Yeah. Now, over the last 9 weeks, he's been great. Now, next year, who knows?
To me, that's a large enough.
Right now,
sample size. I'm talking about just taking this freaking over in this game. That's all.
Yeah. The one thing that blows all the plans up for visions of grandeur for Green Bay covering, let alone pulling off some major upset, is San Francisco's defensive line.
Right.
You'll know early.
Yeah.
If they pressure him and hit him and mess up this passing game or his ability to buy an extra second or two to get out of the pocket, if San Francisco's defensive line takes over the game or wins that matchup, this is a blowout because San Francisco is posting like their team total over. Got to be the play. They're scoring 27 points minimum.
Agreed.
You would think, if not more, they're going to put something up in the 30s. They're going to score often. If they stall in the red zone and have to kick 2 field goals, it'll keep them under that team total. But I don't know. It's the defensive line. That's it. That's what worries me.
30-23 is where I am on that game. I think they're within 1 score. Packers will have a chance. I don't think they win the game, but I think they cover. And I think they're going to have a chance to win the game.
Ironic. You got both 1 seeds playing tomorrow. Both 1 seeds are, at least on the DK Sportsbook right now, 9.5 point favorites. And so then that brings up the argument, the age-old argument, rest versus rust. You know?
I mean, look, I think I've told Dave this. I think this year rest is so important. It's vitally important.
It's been the year of injury, especially to crucial players.
It's so I think having the ability to get your guys healthy and just a half a step quicker, feeling their best in these playoffs after an 18-week schedule, 17 games played, getting to sit for 3 weeks, right? I mean, they didn't play anybody in week 18, didn't play anybody last week, and here we go. That's why I'd say if you're going to bet the Texans at all, Texans first quarter probably isn't a bad play. Lamar's worst quarter in the postseason, in the 4 postseason games he's played, has been the first quarter. He has sucked in the first quarter. So if you want to bet the Texans, I think take them in the first quarter. That would be the play, I think. Plus the points, you probably get, plus 2.5, maybe plus 3 in the first quarter. That would be the number that's the game I would look at from that side. I don't know what to do early with the Packers because I think they might be winning at halftime.
Given where either playing. One of these games goes dog early, lead.
Yep.
It'd be one of those situations. It happened multiple times. For goodness sakes, it wasn't that long ago that the Texans were up 28-0 against the Chiefs in the first half and ended up losing. You get so much money on the favorite. Oh my gosh. I was sitting there booking the game. We were getting just inundated. I couldn't make the number high enough to keep them off the Chiefs. We knew what was coming. We knew the comeback was coming. But at some point, I'm like, I remember looking over at the other guy, and I'm like, are the Texans going to win this game or no? And the one guy was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I'm like, well, I can't get a bet on them. I don't know what to make the number. This is both of these games is that exactly. We're all waiting for the dog to fail rather than being able to see the dog could have success.
I'm going to say this.
What's up?
One Bay is winning outright this weekend. Either Tampa Bay or Green Bay. One of them are winning. One of them are winning outright.
I'll put the listening glasses back on for this. Hold on.
One of them, and I think it's most likely this one.
Really?
I think Tampa Bay is going to Detroit, and I think Tampa Bay is going to be the fly in the ointment, and they're going to knock out the Lions.
Maybe at least consider betting first half spread there with Jared Goff. Did you see one of the BVB members tagged us in this earlier today, Maddie? Goff 25-9-1 against the first half spread over the last 2 seasons. Most profitable quarterback in the NFL over that span. I know you kind of just like mentioned, like betting like a first quarter total or first half spread or something. Yeah, for something like that. So maybe this is something you look at in this game.
They have absolutely nothing to lose. And it's a veteran team that have rings on their finger. Yeah. Not Baker, but a lot of those guys have rings on their finger.
And Baker's still potentially trying out for other teams. Everyone else watching him, right now, he's motivated as hell as well.
I feel like watching this game and handicap, I keep on coming back to the line that Derek Jeter said in the 2003 American League Championship Series. Wait long enough, and the ghosts are going to show up.
Oh,
and I feel like the Lions, the ghosts are going to show up. I'm just saying the ghosts are going to show up here. And look, this is the ticket price. It is. Am I frozen?
No, you're fine.
Oh, there we go.
No, dude, don't panic.
It didn't pop up. That's why I put it on the screen. It didn't go on the screen.
There it is.
Why didn't they go on the screen?
Sounds like
ticket prices. Second highest ticket prices. Oops, sorry. The where is that? Hold on. I don't have that. Sorry. I thought I had it. Sorry.
Amateur move here, big man.
Second highest. Second highest.
It's a meltdown.
Hold on. Sorry. I'm trying to figure out which button I'm hitting. Second highest ticket price in the history of the secondary market for this game. Average get-in price is over $1,100.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Last week it was the most expensive. It was the most expensive ticket
for wild card round. Yes.
Yeah.
This is the second most ever.
Yeah. And the cheapest was Chiefs last week because of the 0 degree weather.
Right. $1,100 plus to get into this game just to go watch in the worst seat and get in price for the Lions. Yeah. I get why Lions fans are so ecstatic.
Absolutely, dude.
I'm very concerned they're going to be pissed off and angry walking out of that building afterwards because I think Baker Mayfield can break the Lions' heart.
I need it, dude. I'm hashtag one prod. I'm an Lions fan, born and raised. I need this. I need this so bad this weekend. I want nothing but pure joy and Lions fans absolutely mashing.
So being from Jacksonville, do you hate Tampa? Did you hate?
No, I love Tampa. They have great strip clubs. We've already talked about that.
They do.
From yesterday,
when I worked in West Palm, I would drive over. We'd drive over if the Jags were in town too. That was during the Bortles era,
right?
If he was in town there, but yeah, man, no, I like Tampa Bay. I know you kind of crapped on it yesterday, but I don't mind it.
I said the best food in Tampa is the strip club buffets.
Oh,
I said you're thinking of Atlanta. That's what you're thinking of. That you're gonna have to go grab a plate of lemon pepper wings with Belichick.
That's Magic City. That's the wings at Magic City that you got.
Wings at Magic City. Yeah,
Bill Belichick has to go have some wings in Magic City. Like that's a must. We got to get a Belichick shot of him going down there to Magic City.
They're nosebleed tickets still available. Ticketmaster selling around $500. So I don't know if that even includes the fees. Like I haven't purchased a ticket for a game on like Ticketmaster or even a concert for Ticketmaster in a long time or any of these ticket websites.
Yeah, it's tough.
I hear the fees have gotten insane. So like you see maybe $300-$400.
It's so bad the government's going to get involved with it and start knocking it down. So
I usually hate that,
it's outrageous.
Good on them.
Yeah, it's outrageous what people are being charged because it's like a processing fee, a sales tax fee.
Yeah,
like it's like buying a PSL, like a personal seat license. Like in order to buy the ticket, you have to pay tons of money. And it's gotten, everything is nickel and diming. We know this. Dave and I talk about this in Vegas all the time about the resorts fees and everything else going on. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
And somehow they get around the taxes and everything else when they charge it as fees. So that's why they do it. It's not right. You're right. I think we're both right. I think he's wrong. I think Detroit wins. I think it's one pride. I think they roll. Two options here, right? Detroit wins and covers this game easy, wins by 10 or more, or Tampa wins outright. I don't think there's an in-between, E. I don't think there's Detroit drives late and Goff throws a game-winning touchdown, so they win 24-21. Something like that. I don't think it's a close Detroit win but not cover situation. I don't think that's an option. There's literally two options in this game. Take Detroit and they win by, let's just say, double digits, 10 or more, or the Demons exercise themselves, everything goes bad, and Tampa wins. I don't think you take Tampa plus the points to cover. I think you take Tampa to win.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Which is why, like, if I was a betting man, damn, it's ticked up to 6.5. I would have liked it better at -5.5 there for the Lions, but I don't know, man. You could make an argument that the Rams are actually facing a weaker opponent. Or the Lions, after facing the Rams, the Lions are facing a weaker opponent.
Totally disagree with that.
In the Bucs. Tampa's been a great story, Matty. Tampa's been a great story. Baker, career resurgence. Was doing all the fun dancing and all that jazz last week, and I like him. I think he catches too much heat for just being an outspoken bro, but I'm not really buying into him a whole lot. And I know you said they had the experience, they got the rings. Not buying into them a whole lot after they took advantage of a very flawed and defeated Eagles team last week.
That's true, but the same problem the Eagles have, the Lions have them as well. Their secondary can't cover anybody. And you're going to have Godwin and Evans running around like crazy. That pass rush better get there at Baker. I mean, that's the key to the game in my mind. If the Lions do not pressure Baker Mayfield, he's going to dice their defense up. I love the over in this game. 49. This thing is, I think both defenses are going to have a tough time stopping both offenses. Over 49 is a play I like a lot in this one.
This one,
I think Hutchinson is going to feast.
That looks too obvious. That's the one. That total looks so obvious and so easy that this will be the one that goes under. Maybe mistakes will be made within the 20s.
If it goes under, Bucks win the game.
That's what I'm saying. It could.
That means the Lions can't run the ball. They can't move the ball, and they have a hard time. And Jared Goff is throwing picks. Like, they need to score because their defense is, look, they were fortunate. They won 24-23. The only team that won and didn't cover last week were the Lions, and they were at home. Yeah. I still don't get what McVay was doing in the fourth quarter of that game. It blew my mind with the choices he made in that game. He lost the game by punting the football, which I don't get it. They could very easily have lost that game outright. Yeah. I think this is the game where they actually do lose the game outright. And I think Tampa Bay is going to wind up getting there.
Even Daniel G says in the chat, Bucks weak interior offensive line. And it's true. Like, you look back to last week, like, Mayfield was under duress against an Eagles pass rush, as I've already mentioned, was beaten up, and it was invisible for the second half of the season, for crying out loud. So
I don't trust Dan Campbell with the game on the line. I don't trust him. No way.
Detroit's buzzing. Man. Detroit is buzzing, dude. Detroit, Rock City. This is going to give a great home field advantage. Gosh damn, I would want to be nowhere else in the world this weekend than Detroit. And I'm taking it over Buffalo, where they're sacrificing people in the pit. Okay. I would rather be in Detroit this weekend. Pride.
I agree. It's going to be a ton of fun, but anytime it goes to 7, it gets batted straight back down to 6.5.
There's
a reason for that.
There's absolutely a reason
you're thinking
for that.
Too much.
Yeah.
Or maybe you're thinking just enough.
There's no chance that the game goes to 7 and closes there. There's just book will go get enough money. Boom, we're back to 6.5. Bet it. Tease it. Yeah. There's no question the books are going to need. The books need the dog. Surprise. Right. Earth-shattering news. But this one, we don't have to go to 7, and it ain't going to last long once we do.
If it does go to 7, tease it up to 13, and I love teasing Tampa up. I still like teasing Tampa up anyway, but at 7, tease it up. Even in 7-point teaser and get that thing to 13.5. love on that to go ahead and cross those numbers. Last game is Bills Chiefs. Obviously, everything's rolling to this game. 2.5's the number. Whenever it goes to 3, it's batted right back down. We've seen it a couple of times. Books have touched 3, and then it's gone just like the first game we're talking about of the day, right back down. Total of 45.5. It's coming down. Could this be Travis Kelce's last game?
Yes. The answer is yes.
I agree.
Could it be yes? Hey, the answer could also be no.
If he gets hurt.
Nope. I think there's his brother walking away. His brother got his flowers. Everyone's been loving on Jason. He's had his whole 4 or 5 days of just loving. He had the emotional breakdown, blah, blah, blah. Taylor's gone for a year. If this team loses and Andy Reid walks, Travis Kelce very possibly could play his last game on Sunday.
I'd bet that no.
Okay.
I would go. If there were odds on that, I'd probably put $10 on yes, it being the last game for him. If they lose, 1,000% last game if they were to win the Super Bowl somehow. 1,010%.
Probably so. I could see that walking on top and saying we're done. Yeah, it just feels like this is the end of the first chapter or the first or second chapter of Patrick Mahomes' career. Like there is a window closing that they're going to have to go and reinvent themselves and figure everything out. Andy Reid does every commercial offered. Okay. Still think the Nuggies commercial is the weirdest thing I've seen in a very long time. It just really flips me out. Every time I hear him say the word Nuggies, I just get very tripped out. But the New York Times article, everyone should go read that New York Times article that came out about the agents that made Travis Kelce who Travis Kelce is today. It was calculated. It was planned. It's been discussed for years about what will happen after Travis Kelce's career is over and what he wants to be after his playing career ends.
Which is what?
An action store, movie store.
Oh yeah. You said this yesterday. You're so horny about this story. You want to go watch him in like what's the one movie with all the old action stars?
I want nothing to do with him.
Or something?
I don't need to watch Travis Kelce do anything. It's a huge topic about what goes into this game to me, because Mahomes is going to keep playing, but Andy Reid and Travis Kelce have taken every paycheck offered to them. There's a reason for that. They're looking at the end. Expendables, yeah.
Expendables.
What did I say? The Inexcusables? I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you were close. It was close.
They're both looking at the
Florida
end.
Educated.
And quarterbacks play till they're 40 now. Okay, so Mahomes is playing for a long time. He's not going anywhere. But how long will this iteration of the Chiefs last? Because you're paying Patrick, you're paying Travis. You have problems. I mean, that wide receiver core is Tom Brady 2019-esque. Like, it is really bad.
Ooh.
Like,
buddy, when he is center stage on that poster for the Expendables 5, you're going to be pulling a Pee Wee Herman and be caught pantless in the movie theater. That's what's going to happen. You want this so bad, don't you, Big Daddy? Go ahead, say it, you filthy pervert.
Say what? The Bills win? Bills win.
Bills are winning?
I'll say it. Bills win.
That's
yes.
fine.
Bills win. Bills
are
win.
winning.
Bills win.
Bills are winning.
Cover.
Bills are winning.
Yeah.
Bills are winning. And it's going to be a Bills-Lions Super Bowl.
I have Dave. I have your thoughts in my head because you said it right when the game was posted. You said that 2.5 is telling you to take the Chiefs, and I went, okay. And I've tried to play this out a million different times, but Josh Allen has a chance here. This is why you play the regular season for this game.
Yep.
You can't lose this game. You can't lose to that team in this game, because then it becomes Brady versus Manning. And it's just one guy owns you.
This is the next Brady Manning.
Yes.
By the way.
And if Mahomes wants to keep the dominance, he wins the game. If Allen wants to change the dynamic, he'll win the game. And then there's actually a conversation between the two. But Josh Allen's going to throw a pick. That's just an automatic.
Okay.
Like, bet it. Josh Allen is throwing a pick in this game. It's a matter of when does he throw the pick. And we have to talk about the injuries because they're down 3 starters in the defense.
They're banged up.
They're really banged up. And luckily, this Chief offense is not explosive, or it could be a really big problem.
Yeah.
But this is what Sean McDermott does. He's a defensive guy. So find a way to get the defense to stop this Chief offense and hold them under 24 points. That's my barometer for the Chiefs. They don't score more than 24 points, they're losing this game.
I'm nervous. No Gabe Davis either, again, for the Bills.
Yep. It's more about the running attack to me. It's more about can they use Josh Allen in the running attack to hurt the Chiefs? And he did it last week against the Steelers. It's 70 plus yards rushing and a touchdown and a 50-yard touchdown run. He needs to do that again.
Josh Allen era, especially the last 2 years. I don't necessarily have numbers here to back it up, but I'm pretty sure I could find them somewhere. This offense is 3 to 4 times more potent when he is more involved in the rushing game. Of course, we all sit there, especially Bills bettors and just Bills fans in general, when you see him run and decides to lower his shoulder like a linebacker instead of slide, for crying out loud. But and last week was a perfect example of that on that like 52-yard run that he had.
What's it like with the family of Bills fans? Like, are they more excited or are they more nervous for this spot?
No. They are lowest expectations. The family group, the family group chat. No, my wife, it's fine. Like, we're not going to win. This is just us. This is our history. We're going to disappoint. And like even last week when the Steelers pulled within maybe like 6-7, whatever it was, she's like, this is it. This is the start of the collapse. They simply, because they have been disappointed for so long, especially her parents who lived through like the 4 straight Super Bowl losses, they simply cannot mentally get over the hurdle of disappointment. So it's like, it sucks for them because even when they go on this incredible run, 5-6 wins in a row, sacrificing men and women and children and next door to the stadium, like they can't enjoy the good times because they simply think it's their anxiety creeping in and saying, oh, the good times will not last long. They'll find a way to disappoint us because they have historically. And because it's Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and Taylor Swift there in Buffalo, which everyone in Buffalo is absolutely pissed off that she skipped Buffalo on the Eras tour. And so now it is the universe and karma saying, oh, bitch, you're coming here to watch your.
Wait. She's going to Toronto. That is Buffalo.
It's not Buffalo. It's Toronto. It's another country.
You're embarrassing yourself. Why don't you save your Buffalo?
Toronto is a suburb of Toronto. Buffalo is a suburb of Toronto.
My ass. It's 3 hours
suburb
away.
of Toronto.
There he goes.
I wish I had glasses. Again, you're making me feel dirty. I'm going to go ahead and just.
Dave, what are the 3 questions?
They're miserable.
Hold on. What are these 3 questions?
Who's the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs?
Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Who's the tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs?
Travis Kelce.
And who's the coach of the Kansas City Chiefs?
Andy Reid.
Those 3 questions are asked every single week on the Cash Considerations podcast when you ask, who do you like? And
how many rings do they have?
Chiefs. How many rings do they have?
Yeah.
I believe they have 2, right?
2 Super Bowls. They've won 2 over the last 4 years for a reason.
Yes.
Right.
So to me, when you look at the Chiefs and teams don't go back-to-back, first team to do it will be the first one in 20 years. Who won the NFC East this year?
Dallas.
When was the last time a team went back-to-back in the NFC East?
20 years ago.
20 years ago. This is a different NFL. You don't go back-to-back.
So this is the passing of the torch. This is the game.
No, it's not really a
this is the Chiefs. The Buffalo goes.
I said this in July. Chiefs,
everybody runs for the hills.
Only 2 things I knew was going to happen this year. I didn't bet either one, but 2 things I said are going to happen. The Eagles aren't winning the East, and the Chiefs aren't winning the Super Bowl. And the Eagles didn't win the East, even though they were 10-1, and they still puked all over themselves and didn't win the NFC East.
They did.
And the Chiefs are going to lose one of the next 2 games. They'll lose this week or next week, but they're losing one of the 2.
They'll lose this week. By the way, like the suburbs, including where the stadium is,
Orchard Park.
For the Bills. Orchard Park, 5 to 6 feet is what they have received in 1 week of snow.
Unbelievable.
There are Bills fans out there right now as we're sitting here.
Yeah, shoveling.
And we are grinding on this show with the BBB brigade. Okay, there are men, women, and children out there. Actually, I think you have to be like 18 or something.
Yes.
To go out there, they are shoveling snow.
$20 an hour.
They are out there, but you get free food. I mean, it could be hot
$20 an hour. It's good.
I know. I don't think it's awful. You got nothing to do, but they're probably listening to this show now, and I want them all to know that they are American heroes. They are American heroes. We're shoveling.
They've had to beg. They've had to beg. What does 6 rings combined mean, JC from KC? Are we adding up the players' combined rings? So you want to do Patriots and talk about that? Combined rings. What are we doing?
Now you've done it, Jason.
We're not adding 2 for Mahomes and 2 for Kelsey and 2 for Reed, making it 6.
2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6.
It's 6 times 3 is what? I mean, like go
6
through
times
it.
3
Robert
is
Kraft,
18.
Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. I mean, we can all do this if you
We're
want.
not counting the owner's rings.
Why, if you're going to make up the one talk about these things, so
it's the players and the coaches. Listen, this is the game of the week. This is gigantic for the league, for fans, the whole playoff picture.
Yeah.
Whoever wins this game
loses next week.
Oh no!
Whoever wins this game loses next week. So yes.
I don't think it's that easy, people.
It is. The Bills win this game, they're going to the Super Bowl. If the Bills win this game.
Look, I'm going to hedge off it.
They're going to the Super Bowl.
I'll give you a halfway decent shot for Buffalo to go into Baltimore and win. Casey's not going into Baltimore and winning. So I agree. Not happening. So like Buffalo does scare me a little bit. So I will hedge off of it. But if it's KC, I probably won't hedge. And I'll probably just keep the Ravens 11-1 future.
And I am not going to read in a whole lot to what the Chiefs defense did against the Dolphins last week, because that was more of the Dolphins. They simply cannot play in cold weather. No. And that was historically cold weather. Hell, if it would have just been 38 degrees, it would have been they would have scored a few more points. But that was more the Dolphins.
People think that I love you guys, okay? And if you, I love you. If you want to take plus 9.5, go right ahead. But I'm telling you, this is not going to end well for the Houston Texans. Okay, it's not going to end well for Houston coming up tomorrow. There's a reason why they're the first game of the day. All right, that's all I got to say about that. Okay, the NFL always puts the AFC South team on Saturday afternoon because it's the worst time
forever.
Slot. Well, I mean, it was Saturday night. It was Saturday night last year. Okay, it was Saturday night last year for the wild card round for the Jags, and then it was Saturday.
Oh, you struck a chord with this guy with the AFC South. Hey, see what you did.
AFC South is always in the worst time slot.
The AFC South is a division of the working man. If you have beef with that, okay, partner, you could take it to our side chat here, where I have receipts of how perverted you are.
Yes, there's this idea that like the Browns are the Ravens are going to forget how to play football because they haven't played for 3 weeks is kind of nuts. Like I'll give you the first quarter rust. Oh, you might even give you a first half rust, but not from a game perspective. Maybe from a cover perspective, but not from a game winning losing perspective. I don't see it at all about them. Haven't played in 3 weeks. We're so nervous. I got a fresh quarterback. I got Mark Andrews who might come back and play in this game. I got the wideouts who were nicked up all year who now are going to be good. They're going to be running around like it's like the first game of the year. Fresh legs, I think, are going to be so big in this game for the Ravens to have it. And the Baltimore Ravens defense in the first half has been nasty. Nasty. They blew it in the second half against the Browns. Oh, did we lose Dave? We lost Dave.
Oh my God, the snow has knocked the power out there.
There he is.
Oh,
no,
he's back.
Sorry.
Wow, okay.
Apparently you get a call on this way this setup is.
Do not disturb.
I got bumped.
Put it on do not disturb. What are you doing?
He just
did. I just am happy that I was able to just do this.
We're never going to have you back on the show as a guest.
I will try my best. I will put the do not disturb thing on.
Remember when they lost their games, right? They lost their game to Pittsburgh in the second half. Lost the games to the Browns in the second half. Okay. They've blown games late. So I don't see them coming out and being like completely inept on both sides of the football in the first half because they haven't played a game in 3 weeks.
Go back to the Bills and the Chiefs for a second. Okay. Does the game go over or under? I'll start. I think it's a dead under.
Only because the Chiefs can't score.
I'm telling you, it's one of those games that because it's low scoring. Right, I'm telling you, it's if it's low scoring, obviously the Chiefs are hanging around. It's going to be one of those ones where I don't think this is the shootout that we've seen in the past. This is that end up that they don't have that explosive
45
offense.
and a half. I don't think that we're going to see the number tells you that a shootout's not happening.
I know
45 and a half between these two teams is low. And the weather's not going to be a problem.
The weather is not going to be a problem.
No, it's going to be cold, but that's about who
Right.
cares. It's just going to be cold. That's it.
Right.
I mean, that's both teams can play in the cold. That's not going to be a problem at all. The wind's not going to be an issue. It's going to be about red zone defense. And look how many times field goals got kicked last week by Kansas City.
Right.
I mean, again, that roughing the passer penalty at the end of that game in the fourth quarter completely changed the complexion of how that game could have gone. Miami was in that game. They had a shot to at least make it a one-score game if it wasn't for that ridiculous two-hand push flag that came out that will not come out this week for Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, they're not going to get the calls this week?
No way. That's the beauty of playing at home. You don't have to worry about calls like that.
Both strong underplays like throughout the regular season too, mainly because Kansas City, that's underperforming offense. You already mentioned that defense. And then the Bills, here's a number. Ground game, been the backbone of this late season push for the playoffs.
Yes.
They've handed off almost 51% of snaps the past 3 games. So if they continue to ride that trend, we're talking shorter games, continuous clock, and another solid underplay in this Buffalo Bills season.
Thank you to CBW for, if this is true, that Adam Schefter's reporting.
Oh, that's
that
great.
The Raiders are finalizing a deal to hire Antonio Pierce as their head coach, according to sources. That is the right decision. That is the right move.
Yes.
I think everybody here in Vegas will be very happy to see him get the head coaching position. We're going to have Adam Hill on Monday, Dave, because that's a really big thing that remember we talked to him about it and he said there's big problems in play calling on the offense and decision making that people who are close to the program are nervous about with Antonio Pierce.
Yep.
So I want to see how this gets, who's the offensive coordinator, who is the quarterback. We know Antonio Pierce is going to be a rah guy. It's who he is. But when it comes to building an entire team in a franchise, let's see how this gets resolved, because I'm not positive everyone's going to be completely in love with him getting that job.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Emerson's seen it from a outside the market thing. This looks like a good move to you, does it not?
What's that? Sorry, I was literally taking a selfie and sending it to Julian. Julian is at Vitamin C Brewing right now, and our boy Dino was asking if I wanted a flannel or a hoodie, and they're like, "Too bad, it's too late." And I'm like, "Yo, bastards! I'm doing the BVB show right now on my VSB
with it on, right? With it,
yes,
on.
with it on."
No,
oh my God!
What was the question? Can you repeat everything you said for the past 5 minutes?
Is Antonio Pierce a good hiring from your view outside of our market? Because we're in it, and so I'm asking you from a neutral point of view in the space.
Yeah,
good move or bad move?
All I needed to see was like after he took over this team and how it rejuvenated this team, and it gave some of these players who seemed dead in the first half of the year some actual life. Did you see the energy of him coming off the sidelines on that last game of the year and how happy players are for him? The Raiders have been in this position multiple times. Who was the guy a couple of years ago was an interim coach who actually did a pretty decent job?
Rich Bisaccia.
Yeah, some people said they should have maybe stuck with him.
Yes.
So it feels like the Raiders are in this position multiple times every other year where you fired the head coach you gave an ass ton of money to. You bring it, you push someone into the intern position. The team plays well. Players all of a sudden seem happy and rejuvenated, and yet you don't go in that direction and you don't listen to the players. It's almost like a big corporation where like someone else comes in a higher up spot. Employees seem happy for once, and then they bring in someone else and don't end up promoting from like within. Do you know what I mean? This is the right call for the Raiders. Okay. You want
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I like the hire. I think there's not anybody else out there besides maybe Mike Vrabel that I would have been like, yes, that's a good fit here in Vegas for what they have, because they're going to have to build on their defense. Yes, they've got the best receiver in the game, but until they fix their quarterback and offensive line, I don't care who they're throwing the football to. They need to address both those topics immediately, because I'm not sure who's going to be the offensive line or the starting quarterback, because it's not going to be AOC. That's what we know. So there's chances of bringing a veteran or drafting a quarterback and developing a quarterback, but who is the offensive coordinator? It's going to be the number one question now that Antonio Pierce is going to be the head coach of the Raiders.
It's going to be Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, can you imagine? He's going with Bill to Atlanta.
Yeah,
That's
no chance he's coming back.
It's going to be Bill head coach. Josh McDaniels is the OC.
AOC
and Jimmy G will be his quarterback.
Yes,
Atlanta.
that's a good point. Jimmy G will be the quarterback in Atlanta. It's very possible. But my goodness, Dave's Daily Picks. AOC ain't bad. Oh, that's your Indiana showing, my friend. Oh my. No, he is not. Justin Fields as the Raiders quarterback. I could see that. That's possible.
Whoa.
Yeah. I could see that. That's possible.
CBW says, is Vrabel going to be let out in the cold den with no head coaching job?
That's
Didn't he just be with the Chargers?
I think he'll wind up with I think Harbaugh's going to the Chargers. I think he's going to wind up going to the Panthers. I think he'll stay in the region.
God, that is the last job out of at one point there were 8 available. I don't want the freaking Panthers job, and a lot of that comes from the top.
Well,
look at who your owner is, and look at the patience he's had with head coaches. I'm sorry. Listen, the team was absolute ass this year, and your rookie quarterback needs some help. Oh,
Seattle?
That would be great.
Ooh.
And here's what I would do if I was Vrabel and I got hired in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
I would make. Why am I having I'd make Pete Carroll my defensive coordinator.
You can't do that.
I'm sorry, I would.
You can't do that.
I'm sorry, I would. That's exactly what I would do.
Pete's the consultant, so he's going to be with the team in some form of fashion.
You can consult the defense as a defensive coordinator, Pete. Okay, I think that would be a great move. But also, he says he still wants to coach. Maybe just the defense.
Does. I thought Washington might hire him. I thought they might keep him in the region. Go ahead and hire him in college. Bring back the Pac-12 Pete Carroll.
Kevin says, I'd rather not have a job for a year than go to Carolina.
Carolina was no good, right? That's a tough.
Because Bryce Young's broken. There's no talent there. Your best wide receiver was a 38-year-old white guy, and your owner is just getting rid of coaches just left and right. No patience.
So let's do this,
dude.
We got about 20 minutes left before we got to say goodbye to Sports Grid and Sirius XM. So we're going to do a different version of Roll Call Friday. We're going to be talking and we're going to keep track of the states, but you guys are going to still do area code states ID where you guys are going to be on a Roll Call Friday. But the roll call is going to be different because Dave's obviously not here. You can't look at multiple screens. It's too chaotic and crazy. But we're going to identify you guys. I'm going to put different states up. So we're going to go for 42.5. That's always the number. So every time a state gets identified, go ahead and put it up, and I'll just start to roll it on a roll call Friday.
3-digit area code. 3-digit area code with the city and or the state you're watching it from. We've had people take it and be their own. By Matt's request last night, I was up very late talking. We were talking on the phone. He said, don't set up multiple screens and just do the show. So we'll recognize by bringing you up with the chat or the super chat.
Yeah.
Matt can pop it up on the screen. We'll dab the map. Trying to get over 42
states.
Divisional playoff round. That's a good number.
Yeah.
That's a fair number. Well, Emerson's already in the chat, and he's in Massachusetts. So, I mean, you can already start with that, Perrault. So dab that one
and the
first.
617.
Yeah, we'll go through all of them here. Just go ahead and line them up, and then I'll go through them and start putting it up while we're talking. But this was a crazy day today, and for all of us here in the content space, Sports Illustrated today made the announcement that they have laid off their entire staff. The entire staff has been laid off. Mass layoffs. They thought it might be a bunch. It's been everyone. Sports Illustrated. I know you're a little bit younger than Dave and I, but man,
no. It was my first subscription as a kid, sports subscription, because my grandfather made me subscribe to National Geographic, which is when I saw my first boob.
Yes,
National Geographic.
Same.
Wasn't necessarily my boob of choice, but it was a boob. So I'll gotta take what I can get when I'm, my body's changing.
Right.
But
what does this say? Does it mean we're just getting old, or is this like, lesson 101 on how to destroy a legacy brand and take something and ruin it in 10 years?
Yeah, I think both.
Yeah.
Right. Like this was the first magazine that I ever got subscribed, came to the house, literally ran home, from school Thursdays to get it out of the mail if I beat my mom to the mailbox, and read it from cover to cover. Literally brought sports to life through pictures and great stories and writing. I was the kid that had the covers up in the room, with little push pins and things like that. Saved. I have Jessica. I know you want me to throw these away. They've made the move with me multiple times. They are in the new storage unit that Perrault, you and I have an agreement that if anything ever happens to me, you tell the cops, look in the storage unit for me. But the Sports Illustrateds are in there. I have multiple 70s, 80s, 90s until I moved to Curacao. I have those magazines. It's impactful. And now being in the space, we know people that work or worked for Sports Illustrated. And I was texting with Frankie this morning. I was texting with him yesterday. He said he was good. Today he said, we're all gone. That's it. It's done. And an iconic brand that a lot of us have some sort of emotional tie to was just dismantled in the least emotional tie way. Done. Boom. Kaput.
Clip. Goodbye. On a statement. That's it. Just out. Goodbye. Thank you for being here.
Like the one part I really remember and I really enjoyed looking at when I was like younger wasn't there a part called Faces in the Crowd?
Yes.
Yeah, in the back.
It was usually like a handful of high school athletes or amateur athletes, because I always thought it was cool when I was in high school to see like what other high school athletes out there who are like 10 times more athletic than me, what are they doing? What are they getting love for? I don't know. I felt more of like a connection to that section than I did, because still not really a huge reader, but every once in a while I'd read like one of the big fat ass 10-page articles. But Faces in Places was like, here are 3 nuggets on this cool kid in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Faces in the Crowd.
Yeah.
9 years
Faces
old.
in Places.
So it was 1979. It's so weird how so many of these moments in my life from 1979 keep coming back. But in 1979, a kid I played hockey with got in Faces in the Crowd. Whoa. because he scored 9 goals in one game. Yes. And he was really good. And I remember reading it and running around the house explaining to my mom and dad, hey, the kid from Kennedy he's in there. Look, we played against him. Cool. It was unbelievable. And that made it real. Immediately, like the stars in the NFL and everything, that was one thing. And like I said, being a next door neighbor to Jack Ham made it all real. But that Faces in a Crowd, you just made me think of that. Yeah, that was us. That could have been any one of us.
Yeah.
No, it was crazy.
I totally agree.
Because think about the first time you saw your favorite sports team on the cover. Like it was an automatic buy. When your team won a championship, you would go and wait for the SI to come in the mail. Yeah. It'd be like, when are you getting it? And then you'd get it and you just like rip apart. Like I have a 2007 Sports Illustrated from the second World Series championship for the Red Sox that's framed. It's like one of my prized possessions. I've got it with my World Series ticket.
Was it Keith Folke?
No. Folk was the first. I have that one too. That's the first one. The
looking up in the sky.
Yeah, Papelbon in Colorado was the second one.
Well, Papelbon and I went to the same high school. That's one of my facts about my life.
Nice. Very nice.
2007 when that title happened, and when the Patriots, I have every Patriot Sports Illustrated, Sports Illustrated championship for the Patriots. I have all 6 of them.
I get the cups.
You just go. It was part of the fun of winning the championship, is that you get that Sports Illustrated in the mail. Somebody said to me though, don't expect it all to go away. Does the swimsuit issue continue? Because that's been, look, there's a couple things. One, it's a cultural iconic thing. All right. I remember the first time I saw it, I was 11 years old. I was handed, I said, what is this?
You know what that did to your body?
Oh yeah. I was like, what is this? And this is very different. I was like, where does this come from? And how do I get this?
I feel funny, Mom.
And then every February, my mother would go, oh, that damn magazine. She would get so pissed off every time I had it, she's like, "Oh, that thing is out again, huh?"
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
like, that
Matt's
thing
been
is
in his
smut."
room for a week.
She's like, "That's smut." I was like, "It's not. It's just bikini pictures, Mom." And she was just like, you know, she was looked down upon it and was like, "That's gross. Don't have that in my house." It was always really funny. We got into a big argument all the time. But like, that thing makes money. Like, that thing is still profitable.
It's thicker than the menu at Cheesecake Factory.
100%.
Yeah.
And
It
that's
makes
the
money.
thickest menu in the history of restaurant. It is so thick now. It's heavy when you pick it up.
Right. And people buy it. People buy the physical magazine. It's one of the few things because they augment it not just with a physical thing, but then they put the digital side of it as well. So you have both. You have extra. Oh, you like these pictures? Now you're going to have even more. You can go and get the videos and you can go get everything else.
So this is the last one, you think?
Everyone's telling me this is what Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit model the issue will continue. Like this will keep going. They're not going to kill this.
It's all going to be independent contractors. What are you talking?
They already
about?
now. Nobody writes it. There's never any writing in all it is pictures now. The swimsuit issue is nothing. There's no writing at all. It used to be half magazine, half pictures.
Right?
Remember
Yeah.
It's all pictures.
I'm a
now.
big pictures guy.
The Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue has nothing to do with sports anymore. Has no writing. Has no coverage. It's all just pictures. So you don't need the sports guys to write or the sports people to write anymore.
Wow, I don't know.
So you keep this train going, like they're saying, like, hey, this thing keeps going. That will be every February. You're still going to get that, and they're going to call it the Sports Illustrated swimsuit, issue.
Yeah,
which is hyper weird because there is no more Sports Illustrated.
Awkward,
very awkward.
Keep cranking them out. Keep cranking them out.
The gravy train going and get people.
Always wanted to go on a photo shoot. And just
watch.
And just walk. Well, yeah, because there's so much that goes into it.
Right.
And like I've seen those behind the scenes a little bit, like where they, talk to the photographer, but like the setup, they've taken pictures in very cold places and put them in, bikinis and things just like, and you're like, how did they even do
Kate
that?
Upton. Remember that Kate Upton cold shoot that she did when she was at her peak? They stuck her in just nothing but a mink. Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes, I remember that quite well. That was a very memorable photo shoot.
Right.
Let's roll through some roll calls here because there's some fun ones to jump into. We got Scotland in the house.
Oh, hell yeah.
We've got upstate New York in the house. We have
less snowy.
Maryland in the house.
There's my boy. There's my boy, J. Dalbets.
Yeah.
We got a little Lancaster, PA. They want to know, do you miss Mars? OD Mars in Elmira.
I miss everything there. And Real Talk Football Guy 97. There were so many awesome. I was a young idiot kid out of college. I was like 22, and like my 3 years there in Elmira, there were a lot of like people who took care of me, almost like their family. People invited me over for dinners like all the time. Would take care of me at bars and shit. No, you need it when it's the first time I'm out of Florida, cold area, small market, middle of nowhere. When I was when I went up there, I thought, oh, New York, this is going to be great, man. I'm getting my first big ass job at a school. Oh, wait, this isn't New York City. Oh, wait, there's an entire state outside of New York City. But I, out of all of the markets that I've worked in, I'd still talk to more people in Elmira than I do in like Salt Lake City and West Palm Beach.
Yeah, that's how I am with Omaha too. Fort Wayne, Indiana's in the house.
260.
Obviously, Iowa City for Iowa's here. Virginia with Iran Sean is here, which is very cool. We are obviously very large in the Midwest with Michigan coming in. Early South Carolina popping in, which is nice to see.
Love it.
Oregon here in the West Coast side of things.
541.
Hey, E, get ready for this. How about Croatia?
Oh,
we got
Vinko.
We got people in Croatia who are watching the show.
What time is it in Croatia?
It's a great question. We ask it every week. What time is it there?
Every week. It's tomorrow. It's
Ohio.
No. It's 9:50. It's still Friday.
Okay.
It's still Friday. Okay. So it's 9:50 there in Ohio.
JC from KC. Did you guys see JC from KC's lid?
Picture. It's phenomenal.
Great job, JC.
JC from KC. Good looking dude.
Stud.
You're a handsome man. Absolutely.
Working out,
And look at him
running
doing
half
that hat.
marathons. He's doing a lot of things, and he made that hat look really good. That hat was popping.
It really was.
We're gonna probably have to mass produce more of those if Kansas City wins on Sunday.
Seriously, right? Everyone was like, "How can I get that hat?" Like, hold on a second.
People.
Colorado in the house, which is nice. We always want to recognize our friends in Canada. Pierre Chevalier, one of the guys who've been there for a long time for us. Emerson, you're already here. Why are you writing Emerson's posting in this chat? What are you doing?
Bro, wait a minute. You don't pick those? You just like, do they randomly pop up?
No, that's
I'm sitting here because I like talking to the BVB brigade. Like while we're doing the show, this is fun. You interact.
We're in Idaho with Skip to Ferry, which is awesome.
Skip.
We got Oklahoma with Stevie Mack, who's there. Always fun to grab onto Chef Benny, who's not getting any sleep these days because of what's going on here.
Baby M.
Jordan Goroff, more on Jordan here in just 1 second. And during bonus time, we got something to show with Jordan, which is pretty damn cool.
Yes, 1 star. One star hit all the stars with that.
Did. West Virginia in here, which is really nice. Obviously, we've had a lot of people in Arizona who have popped in on the show here. Look at that. I love Arizona. We got Alaska.
I love it.
About that.
Ketchikan, Alaska, 907. Scott Bartholomew. Guy shows up every single day, let alone every single week on Roll Call Friday. I mean,
it's only 11:52 in the morning there,
right? Well, it's
not even noon.
It's already dark.
Breakfast time.
They're done. It's already dark. They have like 4 hours of daylight there in the winter.
That's so tough.
I don't know how you do that, Scott, but thanks for hanging, dude.
New Hampshire action with Jay Buck, which is really nice to see, which is awesome.
Jay, let's hang out.
Joseph C. Myers in Texas. Always good to have him be here with us.
In San Antonio.
Did you?
Illinois in the house.
There.
Good to see folks in Illinois in the Midwest.
East Moline. Is that how you say that? East Moline?
East Moline. I think
Moline.
I think that Moline.
I think it's Moline. That's the French pronunciation. I think it's Moline.
Oh my goodness. Is that a first? Dave, is that a first?
Montana, baby.
Is that a first?
We needed it. Underscore the Adam, Big Sky, Montana. 406.
I'm not sure.
We
go to
Fargo. We needed that.
Fargo,
we needed that.
North Dakota.
Mr. Action Junkie 701. That's the first North Dakota. That's the first Fargo.
We go into Nebraska with a little Omaha action there.
Go right down the Midwest here. Come on, keep them coming.
Let's see.
Omaha, Nebraska.
What else? We got Illinois.
We got Iowa in the house.
I'm just not doing duplicates. There's tons of duplicates. I'm only putting up the ones that we haven't seen yet.
Did we get a Tennessee? We got a Tennessee, right?
Yeah, we got that. Yeah, we got Tyler for Tennessee. We got Hawaii. Oh, there's Washington. There's Washington coming in.
Hawaii right now.
Garrett Brown. He's very active on the Twitter. Thanks for being here, Garrett. Appreciate you, sir.
Super fun to see
Washington.
on that. Let me see.
The West Coast.
Okay.
Idaho's covered.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Did we get to Florida?
3, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 20. I'm at 28 at the moment.
I don't know if I've seen one.
We've had. There's New Orleans. There's another one. Okay.
There's Marcelo.
There's New Orleans. We go on that. But we've had a lot of like new. And I know it's different than normal guys for roll call. So like I know this is not how we normally do this.
We'll be back to regular roll call
next week. We'll do the same thing.
We'll be fine.
We want to make sure that we got. Bonvi wants me to ask you, Dave, if you got his email. Did you get his email?
I have not. Okay. I might have gotten it.
I've been traveling like crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I haven't opened the email in over 24 hours. So if you sent it recently, I'll get to it later today. After the show, we got, we're going to eat some food. We're going to hang out. I don't have to worry about going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. It's still snowing.
You can't go
anywhere. We could. It's not that like. I forget. I'm going to take the car out. I think she's still watching the show.
Why?
I just want to drive in the snow a little bit. I forget because at some point it was a skill that I had that I haven't used. I want to exercise that muscle. I'm going to go around Uncle Dan's neighborhood and, check it out a little bit.
Okay. That's asking for an accident, but okay. It's just, you haven't done it in a long time. I'd be a little bit careful with doing it.
Maybe we'll go to a parking lot and do it.
No. Yeah. All right.
Bro, you won't get in your car right now. Do the rest of the show in your car.
Me?
You won't do it. Not you, Dave.
No, that's bad. Don't give him ideas. It's a bad idea. Don't do that. It's a bad idea. So, that's 31 states. But if you keep on doing it, keep on posting it during bonus time, we'll go ahead and add those in for you guys here on a Roll Call Friday. We'll keep counting, but 4 countries, 31 states. It's a different type of Friday, so that's pretty damn cool.
Love it.
Super chats will be answered during bonus time as well, so you guys can go populate those. If you want us to answer a question, topic, whatever game you want us to break down in bonus time, we'll do that as well here. So go ahead and start posting super chats if you'd like to do that. If you are live on YouTube and Twitter, do not move. If you're watching on listening on SiriusXM or watching on Sports Grid, well, you'll get me later tonight. You're not going to get Dave, but you'll get me later tonight with our Friday night show. But
that's right.
You guys, we'll talk to you on Monday for an episode of BVB.
Yes.
Live, guys, don't move. Bonus time now. Okay, we go into bonus time. We got to start it out with a huge shout out and a huge attaboy for what happened last night, because one of our friends may retire from gambling. We got this note sent to us. 5-1 last night. Both sides, a 35-1 hit and a 6-1 hit for the resident trumpet player here for the BVB. It's pretty damn cool.
How good is that? So I fall asleep, wake up. I was trying to watch the Knights play the Rangers and didn't make it, then caught the end. And I was like, 5-1, good win. Then the text comes and I'm like, you what? You picked the exact score and the reasoning, because he scored the last 2 times they played. I'm going to take him anytime goal, 6-1. And then 5-1 final in a game that's 5.5, 6, depending on where you shopped. So it's not completely out of the realm of possibility for the game to fall on the number. But to get an empty netter, to get it to fall on the number, get the text from One Star, I hit them both. I was so excited.
Awesome.
I said, can I tweet this? Yes, you can. So you want to talk about a hit? I mean, an unexpected Thursday night, 35-1 and a 6-1. I don't know what the parlay pays because I didn't put in a parlay calculator.
Boy.
But if you put those two together, it's gigantic.
It's gigantic. It's absolutely.
The empty netter in the Bruins game is what killed us going under. Dude, I was texting Matt because you had the 3-leg hockey parlay, right? Yeah, last night.
I had under Bruins, under Dallas, and over in the Knights game.
Dude, we were texting when there were 4 goals scored in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, I was like,
that's and we're like, all right, this is.
I was on Sports Grid. It's literally, I'm watching this going okay, 3-1 after one. I told everybody it was bet the under in the second period. 1 goal got scored. It's 3-2 going in. 8 minutes to play, and I say to Joe Ranieri, I'm like, man, I'm alive here. This is kind of crazy. It's 3-2 with 8 minutes to play in the third period. I can survive 1 more goal from the Bruins. I can't survive a goal from Colorado.
Avalanche, right?
And I'm like, okay, let me see what happens. And then all of a sudden, the Bruins score with 4 minutes to play, and it's 4-2. And I'm like, just skate it out. Just skate it out.
Yeah.
They pull the goaltender, and they got the hat trick for Pasta. If Pasta didn't have 2 goals, the Bruins
they don't do it.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
They gave it to Pasta. They wanted to get him a hat trick. They got him the hat trick, and then bang, 5-2 kills the parlay. And then I would have been sweating it out with the open net for the Golden Knights too. So I got that right. So it kind of evens out. One was good, one was bad. So that's betting. It would have been a 2-1 night. If you bet them straight, you would have been profitable. If you bet those 3
so it's like we took a ... gamble.
Correct.
Hey,
yes.
Nice.
Here we go.
Like
so yes, that was a on that for sure. So it was Pasta just destroyed it. I was like, come on, bro. I was like, you didn't need to do that to me, did you? I was like, son of a bitch. Okay. UFC 297. This is happening on Saturday night in Toronto. This has been one of the most wild things I've seen in a really long time. We don't need to get into what he said. It's just the fact that he said it. The fact that Sean Strickland is the middleweight champion of the world. And he has said some insane things leading into this fight. What's weird about Sean Strickland is that he talks an incredible game, but he doesn't back it up with his fights. His fights are actually really boring. His fights are not actually fun.
So do what we always do, Perrault, when we talk about this, and then I go to you. What's the line?
Yep.
What's the line?
The line is -140. He's a dog.
He's the dog in the fight.
Yep. Duplessis is who he's fighting. -105 to -140.
Have they ever fought before?
No. Dricus Duplessis has never lost in the UFC. He's undefeated.
How many fights?
6.
Is there a physical overmatch one way or the other?
What do you mean overmatch?
Is one guy
wrestling?
Well, either ground game that much
Yes.
better, or strong on their feet, or knockout power, or length, reach, or is there a physical trait?
So I'll give you the stats. Average takedown per 15 minutes, 2.7 for Duplessis, 0.9 for Strickland.
Oh, he wants to fight on the ground.
Oh, I think this fight goes to the ground. I think the best bet on this fight is probably going to be Duplessis by submission. If we're going to see a win, I don't think you're going to knock out Sean Strickland because he just has a fire hydrant for a head. Like he just doesn't, you just know you weren't going to knock this guy out. He just will stick his head in there over and over again.
Oddly shaped head.
But he doesn't. Strickland just, I mean, you look at his fights.
Whoa.
Okay. He beat Adesanya by decision. 2 of his last 3 fights have gone the distance. He lost to Cantonier by decision. He was knocked out by Alex Pereira. And then before that, all 3 of the fights were by split decision or unanimous decision against guys like Uriah Hall and Jack Hermanson. He's a boring fighter. And it's funny because he calls out guys like Colby Covington for being fake and having a fake persona and the fake, MAGA stuff. Sean says, I'm authentic, I'm real. And he just has upped it to the point where he's saying all these horrific sexist and homophobic things. He's wearing sexist and homophobic shirts to press conferences and whatnot. I can't wait to see, because everyone in the media space, and I don't think Dana White gives a fuck, but like, what are you allowed to say today in sports? Like, can you say whatever you want and it doesn't matter unless the actual people you're working for, if they don't care, if the UFC doesn't care, are you allowed to say whatever you want?
I mean, I think if they're out of all of the leagues, sports leagues in this world, I mean, I think it's the fight game that has probably the longest history, or at least the most active. We're living in a time where, like, definitely fighters push the limits of acceptable trash talk, like, for sure. Like, it's always been a thing, like, with this league. And I think it's one of those things where guys can say almost anything they want in UFC. And I don't know. I don't think, like, many people are just like, oh yeah, this is just some fighters have been knocked in the head maybe like a few too many times. If this is like a big name in any of the big 4 sports, this is a massive story,
right? I mean, if this was like a quarterback in the NFL, coming
they
out
couldn't
and saying the things he's saying, because the NFL wouldn't let them say it.
Correct.
But the UFC is kind of like, these guys are all independent contractors. We don't control them. We have no responsibility for anything that he says. We're not tied to it, because the gay community is huge in the UFC. I mean, monster. And like, he's out there saying things that like stop you in your tracks and go, it's 2024. Are you really saying these things publicly? Like on a press conference into a microphone? It doesn't impact my handicap, but it does really make it interesting to see if he wins. People haven't paid attention because they think the win over Adesanya was a fluke. So that Strickland was never going to be the champion, never was supposed to be the champion, and his reign will be short. That's why he's fighting again very quickly, by the way. I think the UFC would really rather to have a guy from South Africa be the champion and have an international guy who looks good, talks well, is respectful, have him be the champ. They're more comfortable just with advertisers and everything else with Duplessis. Strickland better not let this go to the cards. That's all I got to say.
Right.
If it goes to the cards, all bets are off.
He's 6-0 in UFC. Duplessis is. Or have they been submissions or knockouts?
So his resume goes: last fight against Robert Whittaker was by knockout. He knocked out Derek Brunson, which was like the oh my gosh. When he knocked him out, people went, okay, this guy's for real. He submitted Darren Till. Decision against Brad Tavares. Knocked out a guy named Trevin Giles, who I've never heard of, and he knocked out a guy named Marcus Perez.
Wow. Okay. So he has more knockouts than submissions.
Oh, yeah. None of his fights have gone to the cards. All 6 fights in the UFC for Duplessis have gone inside the distance.
So what's the total? It's bet under, right?
Total.
Like, I mean, this is an underplay.
I don't know if it's because of the fact that you need 2 to tango with that. If Strickland wants to be boring, he could string it out. That's my worry with that. is that oh wow, that's flipped now, by the way. Strickland now is favored at FanDuel. That number is totally flipped at FanDuel. Whew.
Yeah.
How about that? Money is poured in today on Strickland. So the champion now is minus 120. It's minus 102 on Duplessis. Fight goes the distance to the yes plus 210, no minus 290. The total rounds is 2.5.
It's a 5 round?
Yeah, title fight. 5-round fight.
Wow, and it's 2.5. Okay.
Yeah. So money is now pouring in on the champ.
I don't know how I'm going to be able to stay awake for this. This is going to be a major problem. I like to really watch it, and I've gone now a couple times with Perrault. We've got credentialed media passes, and I've always been into it since COVID because I had to learn how to really book it exclusively because there was times I was the only guy in the room, in the building, and we were taking bets on it, and people were betting it because it was one of the few things left to bet on. So I have a real renewed excitement for it. I don't know how I'm going to stay awake. I'm going to do my best.
The main event may not walk till midnight, Dave. You may not get.
I've always been kind of like a casual when it comes to like MMA, like the UFC and stuff. But it's grown on me a lot more since like we started working closely with John Anik over at DK, and like
he's the best.
He's our boy. He's our
freaking dude.
He's our guy.
Dude. I could text him right now and be like, "Get your ass on BVB." And
he comes on the show. We wear. He said all of his one more sleep stuff. We got the hats and the t-shirts for him. Anik's a phenomenal guy, and him and his brother. I've never been in the same room as both of them, and I want to be in the same room once because they are so. Other than the man bun that his brother has, they are identical on identical. It's crazy.
If you blindfolded me, I wouldn't know which one I was talking to until I could feel their heads because one has hair.
A man bun. Yes, one's bald, one's got a man bun, and one's bald. And other than that, the Anik brothers are absolutely identical in speech pattern, the way they look. It's crazy.
He came on twice. He came on here twice, and
that doesn't surprise me. He's such a great dude.
So nice and so much awesome fun. Too, it was we really had a blast. But that even now, because like you said, you're casual, but when you know him, and like we know him, and Adam Hill, and all these guys around it's I feel like invested in it.
Yeah, me too. I love listening to because all of a sudden it's like, I can tell my wife, hey, man, like I know this guy's calling. And she's like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, cool, whatever. But
my daughter's the same way. She's like, good, don't care.
Yeah. The toughest sporting events are UFC because sometimes like the main fight's not starting here in the East Coast till sometimes 1 a.m. Some of those fights were like 1 a.m. And
this is Toronto. This fight
might
walk because it's Toronto. You might get the walk earlier because of the fact that it's on the East Coast.
Maddie,
so you might
there
get
are times
at 11:30.
I'm going up and down Boylston Street. I'm talking years ago before the pandemic. Maybe we would we'd go to some of the old bars that have closed now, like Whiskey's is their poorhouse like used to be there. And there's sometimes where like they almost are forced to shuffle people out. Everyone's waiting for the fights. You've paid cover to get in. They're like, man, we have to close. This is like the law. I mean, it's kind of shitty the bar closed so early here, but
gosh, the last call.
Too late on the East Coast. Too late.
Right. Too late. But I think you might get away with
just went by, boys. I haven't seen a snowplow in a long time.
Wow,
snowplow just went by.
It's like you're in the wild. You're like,
you're all bricked up right now.
What is that? I heard it and I was like, wow, what the hell is that? And I'm like, they're cleaning the street. They're trying to get the street off.
That's awesome. That is, absolutely. That's tremendous. All right, before we run too long here, it is time for everyone's favorite segment. We call this one Better to Before. We got bets for tonight and we got bets for weekend.
All right.
Tonight, Mr. Cherapan, Celtics laying 5.5. You're on the East Coast against Nuggets.
Where at?
Boston. 7-14 on the road.
Total?
ATS.
What's the total?
Ooh, total is now. Let me tell you what the total is now. I don't know what the total is now. Why you like the over in this game?
247.
247, you think the total is?
I'm just throwing a number out.
233.5.
Why in the hell is that so low? Who's not playing?
Everyone's playing.
Joker's playing?
Yeah. Everyone's playing.
5.5
Numbers
Wait.
up
We're talking NBA Celtics
tonight.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
7. It's 7 now.
Oh.
What
do you got
What
at the DK?
Celtics their first loss at home this season?
No.
No, the Celtics are winning.
7 and 14 ATS. Nuggets on the road this year.
Yeah, the Celtics are winning. Do they cover? I would say bet it.
At 5.5 or
Tonight's
7.
not the night. Tonight's not the night. Well, no, now 7.
Yeah, it's 7 now. I got 5.5 last night.
Yeah, timeout.
There's your
20 second timeout. That's 7. That's the one that gives me that pause.
Hold on.
If you can find it under 7 pregame, do it. I think if you can get it under 7 during the game, which you will, right? Like this will be one of those closer games. Denver will have a lead at some point in the first half. You can get Celtics minus 3.5 under 2 buckets. Yeah, I think Celtics are winning this game. Well, that's good. So this game will be on tonight.
Yes,
so it's something to
ESPN.
watch.
Yep,
okay, good.
Yep.
All right.
Second game, Heat laying 6 to the Hawks. The Hawks will not have Trey Lance tonight.
Dear God.
Number 7 now.
Hey.
Hawks are the worst team. Hawks are the worst team
They're
in the
terrible.
NBA ATS.
I don't
They're
want
10
them.
and 30 ATS.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a reason or something clever to say to say book it.
Yeah.
And I can't. I don't want you could have picked any one of these other teams and I would have maybe said yes, but you got the Hawks, the worst team in the league, ATS. No. Bet it.
And then one more in this game. This is before I knew Trey Lance is out. I bet the over.
I was thinking Heat, and when you said Heat, I said, I wonder what the total is. Got to be 238. It's only 228.
Yep.
It's all right. Over.
It's actually way down now. It's down to 222. Wow. It crashed.
Jimmy Bucket's not playing?
I don't know. Well, Trey Lance is not playing, so that's why the total's way down on that. So
NBA's become impossible pregame.
Yeah, it's really hard.
So hard.
To the weekend. Ravens minus 9.5.
You want to bet this or you want to book this one?
I'd bet it. I bet Ravens minus 9.5.
I don't want the Texans, boys. It's Ravens or nothing for me.
Yeah.
It's Ravens. I think you got to bet it.
Lay it.
Thank you.
Plus 9.5. Packers on the road at the Niners.
Batting it.
I don't know if this is, I don't
Just
care
cover.
if it's
Just cover,
square
baby.
or not or whatever. I'm taking a dog in this spot.
Yeah.
There you go.
Over 49. Packers, Niners.
This is where I'll come in and say
Over.
Gotta be over. I was gonna say book it. I can't. This is over. Over.
I'm gonna bet the Bucks money line. Okay.
Fair. Yeah.
But I'm gonna tease them up. I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna tease the Bucks up, but I'm gonna take plus 12.5
with the Chiefs.
With the Chiefs at plus 8.5.
After you just said the Bills are winning.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs are blowing everything up.
No, the Chiefs could. I give. If I'm wrong,
Reed's done.
If I'm wrong, the Chiefs. This comes in. So this is a little bit of a hedge on that opinion.
Oh.
But if Buffalo wins, I have a hard time seeing in a game that I think will go under. I have a hard time seeing this game being a 10-point win for anybody.
Right.
I mean, I just have a hard time. Both teams are so evenly matched in a lot of ways. It would just be stunning to see the Chiefs. If they get blown out, if this bet loses, they get blown out by the Bills, then it might be the end of a lot. Like you might see a thud and Andy Reid may walk and Travis may retire if they lose badly to Buffalo and it looks like a passing of the torch. And it's like, oh God, we're not that good anymore.
You don't book at this.
Okay. You have to on that.
Teaser, yeah.
And then finally, I'm going over Bucks Lions 49. I know you guys think it's the under, but
I do. I think this one looks so obvious. This is the one that's going to catch people on Sunday. Where listen, you may be right. There may be 65 points scored in this game. There absolutely could be. That means all the drives get converted, the field goals don't get missed, and the picks don't turn into touchdowns. I think all of that could happen, and the game goes under. This is the one I'm just looked at all the totals. I said, how is this not 52? Well, it's only 49. They're going to bet over. This is the one that's going to get you. So book this one.
This is interesting. Depends on the refs in Orchard Park.
He's right. Mr. C's right.
I love Emerson. Bet the fuck on everything.
Bet it all.
Hell yeah, brother.
Have you seen the weather in Detroit this week?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
yeah, let's not go there. Let's not go there.
How did she not know?
That's
How
tremendous.
did they not know?
I know.
You're sending her. Okay, we'll get to the super chats here before we get out of here. I think we got most of them, but we'll put them on the screen again. Thank you to Addison. E, they loved having you on the show, man. Dave,
Yeah,
safe
dude.
Matt Matt, hi.
Last 2 days was fun as hell.
Yeah.
Allen wait a minute. Josh Allen would throw a pick is even money? No fucking way.
What
There's
did you
no fucking-
think it was?
There's no fucking way. I'm not laying. That's insane. That is an insane number.
You said the books listen to the shows. They know too. And people bet it every week.
Yeah, why is it even
Throws
money?
a pick.
Why is it minus 120 or minus 130? Why is it even money? That's nuts.
What do you mean? He still has to throw the pick. It still
He
has
always
to be
throws a pick.
caught.
That's like
I know, but
what the holy? I mean, a Mahomes being even money, I might buy.
right.
Allen being even money, I don't buy that at all. Holy crap! And then team total, Ottawa team total under 2.5. Yeah. By the way, for you, Mr. Bookmakers out there, Vancouver. I'm just saying thank you. I've already bet it, so I appreciate you giving us plus money on tomorrow's hockey game involving the Jets and Ottawa. It's plus 160 at certain books for the under 2.5 team total for Ottawa.
Bet it.
Yeah, 13 straight and 19 of 20.
Bet it. Bet it. Bet it.
up.
Bet the fuck out of it all, baby.
There we
All
go.
right.
So team total under anybody against the Winnipeg Jets. Emerson's on the right bandwagon. Matthew Tampa Bay won't win because Bowles is a dum-dum as a head coach, good coordinator, but his butthole will pucker and he'll go conservative.
Whoa, wait. I was getting ready to get in the chat until I heard butthole and pucker in my ears. So now I'm paying attention again.
Yes, JPC the fourth about the butthole.
Detroit.
By the way, Julian is talking mad shit to me right now in text.
Uh-oh.
He goes, ask Matt why they have a gambling show and brought in a host that doesn't know jack shit about gambling, talking about me. And I go, I'm not brought on for that, you dumb cuck. I'm brought on to talk about big dicks I see in the sauna.
That summed it up.
And then Dino at Vitamin C goes, then they definitely brought in the right expert.
See? How about that?
Kyle Meyer, future question for you guys. How would you play this weekend off the AFC Championship ticket for the Ravens 11-1, which I have, and the Bills 40-1 to win 10 units?
Ooh.
How would you play off of it to guarantee yourself? You can't really. You can hedge on the Bills game.
Well, no, you could
Chiefs.
take the Chiefs to win the AFC right now, plus money, and you
Okay.
could take the Texans to win the AFC. You're gonna guarantee yourself a ticket. I mean, one way or the other. You could bet the Texans on the money line, which would nullify the Ravens ticket.
Right.
And you could bet the Chiefs on the money line, which would nullify the Bills ticket. If either one of those lose, you win. So that's kind of the hedge right there.
Right.
You know, you have to see it's more than just the odds. It's how much money you have invested. It's
Right.
more than just a quick, can't give you a 30-second answer.
I wouldn't
I mean-
hedge on the Ravens ticket because it's only 11-1. I would hedge on the Bills ticket because it's 40-1. So you've got a lot of wiggle room there to play off the Bills ticket.
Yeah, but 11-1 becomes nothing if it loses.
Right, but I'm okay. I mean, my point is one, I don't think the Ravens are losing this weekend, so I don't think you have to worry about it. But you're kind of cutting into your profit too early. I'd rather wait and the Ravens win.
Yeah.
Wait till the Ravens win, and then hedge next week, and then come back. And you could say, well, and then in game,
You
if
bet
they're losing,
one unit, and you just take that one unit and
Money
bet
line.
it on money line Texans just as a
Yeah.
hedge.
and it's what it's 360, 350, something
Right.
like that.
So you know that's for your time. You
Right.
got it this far.
Right, get 3-1.
Lamar
return.
gets hurt and Huntley comes in and the Ravens lose, and you're going, oh, that 11-1 ticket was great. Anything can happen.
No, true. And
Hey,
then finally, yep,
Bucks best ATS road team this season, 8-1.
correct. Yep, they are.
I don't know if you've already said that. I'm
We
sitting
had,
here chatting
but it's
with
I
true.
like that.
But that's true.
Thank you.
Mikey Awesome let Heineke be the quarterback for Bill in Atlanta. That is not going
That's
to happen.
not happening.
Sorry, that's not he's
Not happening.
He's not going to be doing that. Okay, it is time for our favorite thing about today. Emerson, you're the guest, so you can go first on this. What is your favorite thing about today? Yes, I am talking to you, Emerson.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I was my I don't know what my dogs are doing. They're fondling something in the bed, and I think it's just scrunchy.
Whoa.
That's fine. As long as they don't eat it, because I don't have to pull that out of their ass later.
Wow. Oh my God.
Favorite thing about today, is it the show, just kind of life in general?
Anything you want. You're back?
Oh, this is my favorite part of the day right here. Big D. Let's go. The handsome Big D. Okay, come on. Put a little pot in his ear. Hey, I want you to know you were my favorite part of today.
Me?
Yes,
Yeah.
you.
That's why I came back upstairs, because I got two favorite parts of today.
Okay.
Wow.
One is sentimental, because I don't get to see my big brother that often. So I was very happy
Love it.
that my big brother came here, stayed with us, disrupts my whole fucking world for the whole time he's here. His wonderful, beautiful wife is here. My niece is here. And my second favorite thing is that he has a return trip to Vegas. I'm out.
Very good. Love you to be here. Love you that you're leaving. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Appreciate you being here.
Last time
Goodbye.
I came, I only bought a one-way ticket 2 years ago
Yeah.
when I started doing all this stuff. And the girls got invited to a softball tournament from Stern, who was in Brigade Proxy Service.
Oh, right.
He had spots on his roster and said, bring the girls. I need a pitcher and a catcher, and they can play. Well, they played over 2 weeks. One weekend.
That's right. I remember that
in
you kept on
Newtown,
staying.
Pennsylvania,
Right.
and then another one in New Jersey.
You
So I
stayed.
said, Uncle Dan, we're coming. And he was like, great. I get to watch the girls play and we'll hang out. Perfect. And we stayed the first week. He thought we were leaving. I said, no, we got another tournament in New Jersey this week. He's like, wait, where are you staying? I'm like, here. He said, oh.
We're staying here.
We stayed 2.5 weeks.
You did.
And then we drove to Pittsburgh to finish the trip there. And we went to see B. Howe. We went to see Travis at the Pirates. We did a lot of connections there.
And then we started BVB basically when you came back.
That fall. We
Yeah,
started
that fall.
we started it that fall. So yeah, so he's happy I'm here, but he's happy I'm leaving. He's the best. We're 16 months
He's
apart.
fucking awesome, dude. I'm not
He
gonna
is.
lie. He's fucking cool. I wish I had a brother. I really do. Like that's cool as shit.
It's
You can have one of
unbelievable.
mine. I have 3. Take one of
Oh,
mine.
really?
Well, I'm the oldest of 5, and so is Perrault. I mean, we there's a lot of moving parts in these
Damn,
families.
y'all's parents were horny as shit.
Yes, well, this is what they did back in the day. But
Yeah,
that
Catholic
was good.
rabbits. That's what we call
was
them,
it?
Catholic
Yeah.
rabbits.
Yeah, so go ahead and do that. But by the way, the whatever just happened with your light is dead on. You definitely have a hostage video situation going on.
I know. I don't know what to do. Everything, all the lights, like everything, it's gotten overly cloudy.
Yeah, it
Like
just looks
it's
very hostage. hostage.
That's
I
how it is
know.
here
I
too,
don't know what
Dave.
to do.
And like I have
Oh,
ring
man.
lights, and I've just got this table light that's been
Yeah.
sitting here because it's so dark. And like if the sun was shining, it wasn't as cloudy. I'd still be getting a little bit of
4:30
sunshine.
Eastern.
It's going to be
4:30
pitch black
Eastern.
in like 10 minutes.
I don't know how you guys do it. My favorite thing about today, thank you for doing this because this was super fun to have you for
Yeah,
the last
man.
2
Tremendous.
days. Man.
Thank
Really,
you.
really made it a soup. We made it a lot of fun. I'm really glad.
Whenever
Dave,
you need me, and if I can do it, I will do it. I
Thank you, man.
fucking seriously love you two so much. This shit is fun as hell for me in the BBB brigade. Absolute fucking elite
love you.
squad of people.
Yeah, we got a lot of really cool things going
Superior
on.
human beings, for real. So many of them
Thank
have also messaged me. All the
Nice.
shit going on with my mom being in hospice and everything. So many fucking nice people checking in on me. I'm like, this feels good. Like these are good.
You travel tomorrow, Emerson?
Sunday morning. Yeah, Sunday morning.
morning,
It's gonna be
okay.
5 degrees. So I'm sure we'll waste a fucking hour de-icing the plane.
CBW, yes, I'm on Sports Grid later tonight. I'm on with Scott Wetzel. Dave's not on. I'll be
I'm
on
not.
Wetzel
Yeah.
later tonight because he'll be on the East Coast. So I'll be doing that 8 to 10 Eastern time on Sports Grid. We'll go through a lot of fun stuff. We do have our guy Z coming on. Zayd's going to join us on Sports Grid, breaking down UFC 297.
Excellent.
So
Good.
we're going to bring him on. We're going to play the video of him cashing that $200,000 ticket. So it's going to be it's going to be fun to
Nice.
play that. So it's been fun. Dave, for you, favorite thing about today?
One, I got to see snow. That was kind of nice. Like, and it's a lot. It's
Yeah.
a few inches out there. And then my favorite other thing was that I didn't have to shovel it because Uncle Dan said, I'm doing it, so don't do it.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was good. He said, I'm older. I'm, again, 16 months older.
No, you got to
But he
be careful.
said-
I'm serious with shoveling, dude.
Well,
Like,
no,
people
that's-
have heart attacks all left and right.
That's
Yeah,
believe me,
bad.
and that's what he said. He said, "You're the one that had the stroke.
Yeah.
I'll fight through it." But we're slipping and sliding outside. We were taking pictures, but we picked up snow, and I said this was yesterday actually, but I said to Kylie, "Hit that pole with the snowball. Can you hit the pole?" And she's like, "Come on, dude. No, I don't think so." I mean, we were decent distance away. She picked it up, missed it. I picked up a snowball, crumpled it up tight, went like this, zinged it in the center of the pole. The ultimate walk-off. When the kids think you can't do it, I just zinged a fastball right on the dot. And she was like, "Bro, how'd you do that?" I'm like, "Told you I could still throw. Don't forget it." And I walked in the house and left her standing there outside. That was my favorite thing about today.
Too good. Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you for everything. This was a really fun week. We didn't know how this is going to go, but this is cool. Emerson
Big day Monday with all these games. I can't wait. If Houston wins, look out.
So where are you going to be on Monday? Here? There? Where are you going to be?
Back at
We're going to be
back in Philly.
back in Philly.
Here.
You'll be here.
So you're going to be
Monday.
where you are currently in Philly.
I think so. Depending how things go with the move,
Matt,
and if anybody's
you better
up
get
there,
that ship figured out.
here,
big
we'll
man.
be here. We'll be right
No,
here. We'll be right here.
We always
We'll
said
be
we were going to talk on Sunday as to what we're going to do with the show on Monday. So we don't know what we're doing the show on Monday. There may not be a show on Monday. I don't know. We got to figure out what we're going to do on Monday.
I'm traveling Tuesday. Somebody got to do the show Tuesday. I'm traveling.
He's doing
So
it Tuesday.
Monday will
so
be good. Yeah.
we'll figure it out. Guys, thank you for being here. We appreciate each and every single one of you. Hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave a review on Apple Podcasts, everything else. Thank you. BVB on Roll Call Fridays, always very special. He's Emerson Lotzia. Dave just took off and left. Bye, everybody. Talk to you on Monday for BVB.